The college football experience, week 7 preview and picks episode. The Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up. And when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN. You get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and NFL with Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Brian Bosworth, aka The Boz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother. Peace out. Boz out.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, week 7 preview and picks. Hopefully the audio is working. I don't know what's happening. Some say the Russians have hacked in after my. Remember when they took me off YouTube for a couple days?
Russians
on my birthday. On my birthday, they took me off YouTube. I was I felt good being America's Most Wanted in
Russia's Most Wanted.
Russia's Most Wanted. I'm sorry. Jeez, I can't talk.
America's #1 patriot.
I was the #1 patriot.
I don't know. Might have been all those dictators in the chat.
That's true. Might have been, or they might have saw just from streaming numbers how many times I've watched Rocky IV in my life, and figured that damn it, we got to get rid of this guy.
Well,
he's a threat.
Did we have Putin in the chat? Because we were wondering how do they keep finding us? As soon as we put these songs up, they get us.
It's true.
Putin's
They were coming
sitting there
at me.
watching.
Who knew Putin was a DJ?
I think most of us would assume that
would have been minus 400, I guess. Would have been the odds there. But folks, happy to have you here. Hopefully you caught last night's episode where we broke down all of the weekday games. And YouTube.com/the college experience. One of the things I just want to start off with, though, is this is a great week of college football action. I'm super excited for it. And that's the sound of what we get this week. The Red River Shootout, one of my favorite games in all of college football each and every year. I've been on countless shows. I love just shitting on the people that brought me on their show. But look, I do have an issue when they just try to say, oh, we got this Red River rivalry game here. It's the Red River rivalry. No, it is not. No. It is not. It is the Red River Shootout.
My question is, what I understand the universities from a public perspective having to do that or feeling the need to do that for PC reasons. But if you're just a station, why go along with that?
Yeah,
it's like you don't. People still call the world's largest outdoor cocktail party that. Yeah. Apparently,
they came for that too.
But does ESPN? I feel like ESPN still has no problem hinting at that. But they won't cross that shootout.
No,
line.
The irony will be,
Patty C, they're coming for our guns and our alcohol.
Yeah,
man, tough time to be an American here.
Well, and they say they'll be the first thing that they'll say. Oh, Seth Luttrell, he came from the school of Mike Leach, air raid, also run and shoot. Huh. It's trying to make sense of that one, right? Oh, and then when Caden Salter throws another touchdown, they're going to say he's been on fire tonight, absolutely killing it. Well, he completes a bomb touchdown pass. A bomb? Oh my God! How could you say that? You fucking losers! If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swing at Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
I do have $1 million smile on a fistful of pesos, and I'm excited, dude. I've been on fire the past couple weeks, if I'm being honest. Feeling really good about college football. Feeling really good. And Cal Moneyline should have hit for us. But it's okay. It's okay.
I feel like we've been dialed in a little bit. Maybe not always. I think Texas A&M. I was on Texas A&M. You were at A&M?
I got a future for them to make the playoffs. It's looking pretty fucking good right now too.
Yeah, I was on Texas A&M in the playoffs too. So
I'll give Colby his props. He won our little side bet, that A&M Missouri matchup. Missouri looked like hot garbage. Top 10. I can't believe that. But we had a couple lock battles that went my way.
What were those again?
Ole Miss, South Carolina. And
yeah.
was it the Texas Tech game? Was that it?
That game was ridiculous.
I've cashed on Texas Tech 4 weeks in a row. I'm just bummed that they're not playing this week because I keep on riding the Red Raiders and they keep on coming through for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we should probably talk. Let's talk about that for a second. But let me introduce these fine analysts here. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh, up.
Let's get it going.
Yeah,
Let's get it going here.
Let's go.
Yes.
Got the silver bullet in tow. Feeling good already. You know, that delayed episode that we just experienced.
I like doing it. Get it out of the way.
That's right. We had the blooper.
It's like the first interception. Right?
That's right. Yeah, get it out of the way. And I'm like 2 beers deeper now, so I'm in mid-show form here. Let's go.
I did have Arkansas money line. I mean, that was a big cash out. I see Weehawk saying he had Cal Arkansas money line parlay. That should have hit, man. That absolutely should have hit. We're joined by third man in the booth, the DFS god himself. And he's been somebody call the fire department over there because this guy's been hitting his bets, but he's also this ladder. I got to come up with a ladder nickname for him.
Lord of the Ladder,
fireman.
Lord of the Ladder. Nah, I don't like that one.
Somebody
need a better one.
That.
Okay.
Ladder
you're
Lord.
on mute. Oh, Ladder Lord. No, I'm gonna flag on the play on both those.
Lieutenant
I will come
Ladder.
up with one.
Lieutenant Ladder.
Lieutenant Ladders, I like.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I don't know about that one.
Give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving, farmer, earn the basketball league MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
There we go. What's going on, guys?
Oh, little break up there. It's perfect for the Red River Shootout. If I'm an Oklahoma fan, I'm down there in Dallas, Texas right now, blasting this, going in circles around the Cotton Bowl. All right.
It's just an American flag with this fucking blasting it full volume. I love it.
How are you, buddy?
Me?
Yeah, I just introduced you. That's how it normally goes. Normally we do this thing called an introduction, and following the introduction, you say, "Hey, glad to be here.
Well,
I got some winners for you."
This is
right?
This is the first night with Tuesday Night Football, so it's a little hard to do the show when you got an eye on the game here. So I'm doing fantastic, guys. I did have a pretty nice betting Saturday last weekend, and we're gonna ride that momentum right into this weekend. Let's go.
Boom. There you go.
Colby, we got shoots and ladders or hook and ladders in the chat.
Mm.
The Mad
I
Ladder.
mean,
The Mad Ladder, Terrell, that was pretty solid.
Mad Ladder.
That's legit.
I'm gonna have to think on this for a week. All right.
Let's talk. Yeah. Who cares about a nickname? I care about winning some bets here. Let's go.
Yeah, we did have a good week, and look, I mean, I was 7-0 before we even got to Saturday. 7 games played, seven hits. That's why you listen to the weekday episode that we dropped yesterday, and we're gonna be doing those weekday episodes from here on out because there's a shit ton of Tuesday, Wednesday games now that Conference USA is in October. Followed that goes seamlessly into Maction in November, and yeah, excited for all of that. There is a little bit of news. I saw Ross Dillinger's story there. He reported that a group of investors and ex-Disney execs have met with the athletic directors at 30 power schools with a pitch for a $9 billion infusion as part of a 70 school football league where they would no longer play FCS teams or group of 5 teams at all. I mean,
Awful.
looming and look, they called it Project Rudy too. Get the fuck
I mean,
out of
what
here.
I love
Rudy,
is
the ultimate underdog, right?
yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
These schools have long said that, hey, we have to schedule these smaller teams to keep our, in-state institutions afloat. That's when they get in the black. Apparently that goes out the window completely once enough money's dangled in front of your face.
I mean, we just watched Vanderbilt beat Alabama. Now I know Vanderbilt's in the SEC, but one would first say for how long? Because they might end up kicking them out if they don't have Diego Pavia for another 5 years. I mean, the sport is infused with upset. That's what we like about it.
Well, that's exactly why they went out. They're doing anything they can. They see things evening out, and they're like, "Fuck." They don't want it.
And I have a proposal, and shout out to AJ, the sheriff of the Calgorithm. These Cal fans, absolutely fantastic. I fall more and more. I'm becoming a bigger Cal fan by the day.
I know. What an addition to the ACC. When we signed him, I wasn't sure that'd be the case.
He did a great tweet saying, "I have a proposal. How about a 134 team super duper league called Division I, where the teams are split up into conferences by geography and historic rivalries, and the best teams compete for bowl games and a championship at the end of the season." Now, I would say a playoff, not a bowl game, but you nailed 90% of that. Yeah, a much larger playoff. You nailed that. Shout out to the Calgorithm. I mean, Nick, what do you make of this this news potentially?
I mean, we've heard rumors about it for a while about, the power conferences removing themselves from the rest of college football, and I guess ultimately it's probably going to happen, which does absolutely suck. But like I always say, I always try to look at it positively. You're always going to have local, small town college football. You're always going to have in-state rivalries. So does it suck? Yes, but college football as a sport's not going anywhere. Maybe there's a third tier in between Power 4 or whatever you have, top 70 and FCS. Maybe there's a third tier. Maybe that third tier has their own playoff system, and that would be fantastic. So either way, there's still going to be games. There's still going to be football. And there's still going to be rivalries and small town football. So it's all good.
Well, that's the thing I like to say is if this happens, I don't know that this will happen because I still think you need, if you're trying to bring out your fans, if you're Vanderbilt or
you need to win,
you need to put a shitty team there so it looks good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can't be going 1-11 every year.
So I don't know if that's going to work, but I will say what's great about college football and in my opinion, the most American sport, predates the MLB is there's 5 layers. There's a 5-layered system, right? I compared it, I think on the SGP show to Independence Day when they're trying to shoot down the guys and it's bouncing off their shields. Right. And, the shields are up for college football because look, if you get through that, you have the group of 5, right? After that, you have the FCS. After that, you have D2. After that, you have D3. After that, you have NAIA. And all of these, the further you go into those, you'll find out that they've been playing for 90 years. Some of these schools, so it's it's still there. So if they want to fuck with it, watch though what a bunch of us probably shift over to what drew us into college football in the first place. You know what I mean? So shout out to R Wright giving us $50. And he asked, what are our thoughts on the FBS promotion / relegation?
I'm all for it. If there's any, if there's any possibility that actually happens.
Yeah. That idea is always thrown about in every sport, and it only exists in soccer. And really, I mean, has it ever come close to existing in any other sport? I'm not against it. There would be some intrigue there, but I don't know if that's a realistic possibility.
Well, it's who's in charge of that, and then to me, what's great and what's terrible about this idea of a 70 school football league? I think it's fucking horrible because I think it's great that you can just have money and just start a football program. Look what Liberty was D3 fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah,
and they just said let's go all in on football.
I agree. Well, let me ask you this though: is there a reasonable cutoff where Alabama shouldn't be playing a team ever. And like, I mean,
Yeah, it
because I
happens
feel like-
every November.
Yeah, I agree. But what is the number? Let's not just sit there and like cry about, you know,
an a bad FCS program.
All right, so what? Like 180, number 180 should never play number 1.
The problem is it's hard to deem that coming into the year.
Well, if you had a promotion and relegation system, then you would have a relatively close idea of who is up and who's down. You know, it would be great if, you know, Lenore Ryan and Alabama were on the same level, and Lenore Ryan had a chance if they had a Michael Vick and Herschel Walker magically show up on campus and have a chance to make a national championship run. But that's probably never going to happen. And 99% of the time, Alabama beats them by 120 points. So there should be some kind of like levels to the game, probably, you know, for the health of the game.
Well, yeah, it is. It's called the FBS, and if you want to join, you pay $5 million and you jump up.
My problem isn't that, you know, it's that there are levels. It's like there should be. Each level should have access to the next level, and for the Power Four to completely be blocking out the next level down.
And why are they really doing that? I think it's because Vanderbilt did just beat Alabama, because Northern Illinois is beating Notre Dame, and I think this is the proof. Is the NIL is equaling things out. The transfer portal is equaling things out. I think depth is at its lowest it's been for the power schools.
Yeah.
And I think you're seeing the sport actually. Here's what's crazy though: the sport is healthier because of that, but they want to make it unhealthy again.
Because
you know
they
what
want
I mean?
They want to keep on making
they want their money.
Yeah.
If the only barrier to entry into big time college football is cash, then they feel threatened by that, and they want to control it as much as possible. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly when you look at it this way, because there's no real other way to explain what's going on. It's just them trying to, you know, protect their money, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, Diego Pavia, he got you. He saw your money. He took a big old piss all over it. All right. All right. How about that? All right. 2-star from New Mexico military. Yeah. Let's go. All right.
Pisser for Heisman
for sure. And well, I want to change the Heisman thing to just you taking a piss. All right. Can that be the pose? Every time you score a touchdown in the end zone, just 2 hands over your dick area and
it's
just
like that
pissing.
It's like that logo like rednecks put on their trucks if they're like Chevy fans, like the kid pissing on a Ford.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, man. Folks, we got everything figured out on this. This is why you subscribe to the College Football Experience. We will figure out everything
Genius
going on
takes.
in life. Yeah. I want to tell you before we dive into this that look, Hurricane Helene. And it seems like another hurricane is on the way, by the way, and hope everyone's safe there in Florida and everything. But Hurricane Helene recently came through Western North Carolina and just did a ton of absolute damage to Western Carolina or Western North Carolina, not Western Carolina, but and other people there. And you know, if you haven't followed up and seen what's been happening over there, it's absolutely tragic. Imagine losing your house, your car, your job. In some situations, I saw a story where a woman lost her son to the river, and you know, it's just absolutely terrible. So shout out to Weehawk, but through Weehawk, we were able here at SGPN to team up with a local charity, mountainprojects.org, to help give back. And look, the biggest donation will get a guest spot on the College Football Pick Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast, and we're going to hook them up with a ton of gear. Just go to mountainprojects.org and hit flood support to help out today. And look, even if you can't make the biggest donation, folks, please, if you just got $5-10, I mean, how many times do you in the chat, you say, Dundee, you ever in Anchorage, you ever in Tallahassee, I'll buy you a beer, wherever. Right. Well, I would love to just say, trade that in. And if you could just get use that $5-10 to throw it in here and let's help out. These are our people, man. This is what, if the roles were reversed, I think for all of us, I would hope that, my fellow countrymen would want to help me out, and be there to say, hey, my house is gone. I'm I can't even buy a meal right now. Can somebody help me out?
Let's be honest. Like we're not that far, born and raised from Appalachia, pretty much in it. So these are our people.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like anywhere in America, when this shit happens, wherever, if it's the earthquake and like this is when we got to step up. These are our people.
Yeah.
And so please, if you can, jump on over there. Mountainprojects.org, hit flood support. I joked around about this on the CFL episode this morning. This is way more important, in my opinion, than your vote on November 5th. Because that's like pissing in the wind. Yeah. I don't even know if they really count those things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this like we've done our due diligence. They're going to help people out. All right. So please, this is way more important than your vote on November 5th, in my opinion, to quote the great George Carlin. So please jump on over there and do that. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. All right. We are back and ready to roll, and let's just we did have some more news.
Yeah, speaking of disaster and hurricanes,
Memphis and South Florida, has been moved to Saturday, which I don't have on the slideshow here, but we covered that yesterday. So now it's going on Saturday at 12:30.
At least it's not canceled.
That's true, and I wish they would have pushed it to Sunday personally, because I love catching a Sunday college football game, but. That line is at 7.5 now. I think it went up half a point, and
that would be enough to push me to South Florida, honestly.
Yeah. So okay, I think Nick, does that change? I'm on South Florida as well.
Yeah, I was on South Florida at 7, so I'll take that half point. Sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Jack Whidden in the chat, watching my first show since Helene. So pumped to get things back to being normal, and I hope. Jack, where do you live?
He was saying earlier in the chat that he's in Asheville. There you go,
buddy. Send me can you DM me on Twitter at the Colby D Jack? Please do that. Thank you though, and I'm glad to see that. Hopefully, you and your family and friends and everybody haven't been too devastated by the storm. But please send me a DM. Shout out to Weehawk as well. He is the best, and please, folks, if you can help out. And it looks like this could be happening again. Now I know the weather sometimes they pump this shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's all a gimmick to get you to go out and buy it and fight over a piece of toilet paper at the local Target. But it seems like another hurricane's about to hit Florida. And obviously, if it does, if you're in that area or if you know people in that area, help is help. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you can help out that. Same thing, just because we don't have a deal with them right now, or help is help, man. So please, get on over there. All three of us are on South Florida, plus 7.5. Now I did see this. Does this concern you, NC Nick? Byron Brown's questionable, because that concerned me a little bit.
Well, so we've only seen the line go up a half a point. So if we see it go up a couple more points, then maybe we think he's not playing. But I don't think any of us have any inside info whether he is or not on Tuesday. So as for now, I'm going to assume he's playing.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I'll obviously if that news comes, you will see me probably Benedict. I will Benedict this game if Byron Brown is not there.
I will say Byron Brown not quite the performer he was last year. 7th.
Sophomore slump is a real thing.
Yeah,
scattered ass is all after you. You get more money probably because NIL, and I'm not blaming Byron Brown. He's a human being. All right, it's only human nature.
But also level of competition probably has something to do with that.
Yeah, true. Shout out to Terrell Furman, folks. If you're not checking out the NBA Gambling Podcast and WNBA Gambling Podcast and the Saturday morning show. He's projecting a Dundee Benedict Saturday morning, perhaps. Make sure you check out Terrell. Okay. So let's jump into this now. I don't have a slide for that one. I wanted to cover that. That was all the news I think we have. We actually did have, some players quit the teams, but I don't want to highlight them because
they're quitters.
Yeah, fuck them. All right, let's go. Game 1, Saturday morning. Let me see if I can figure this thing out. How do we do this again, Penick? There we go. We got this has been a fun one historically, because normally North Carolina walks in at like 6-0, and they're normally like double-digit favorites to Georgia Tech, and then Georgia Tech normally beats them by like 60 points. Not the case. It's actually the roles reversed here. Georgia Tech's 4-2. Carolina's 3-3. There is, you saw one of the guys that did quit was Christian Leary, the Alabama transfer, hit the transfer portal. But Max Johnson obviously out for the season for Carolina at the quarterback spot. I'm with NC Nick here, where and I have the over on. This has been a disaster for my overplay on Carolina because I just think had that JMU game not happened, I actually think they would have beat Duke and potentially beat Pitt. Like that was just like it just, and then like you had Mac Brown say, "Do you even want me to be the coach?" Which is fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like the locker room is just. I feel like this is a train wreck now. So give me Georgia Tech minus the 6. I know it's in Chapel Hill. I'm not buying into that wine and cheese crowd.
Well, there wasn't much of a crowd last Saturday.
JMU destroyed the soul of North Carolina. I'm just going to go ahead and say that
to a degree. But then in the first half against Duke, they looked like they were playing good football again. It was the second half against Duke, and really the second half has been their problem the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, they've been outscored 38-7 in the second halves of the Pitt game.
What
and the
happened?
Duke game, of course.
How much were they up by at half against Pitt? I feel like that game was back and forth the whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't remember.
They
exactly.
got outscored 17-7 in the second half, I believe,
and
they got outscored 21-0 in the second half against Duke. So what is that? Is that a team quitting? Is that a lack of mid-game coaching? I just feel like I've been saying it since the offseason that this is going to end badly for UNC this year. It is going to be Mac Brown's last season, and I'm going to bet against them every week until I see something different. So I'm on the Yellow Jackets. I'll lay the 6 and I'll lock it up.
Woo! He's locking this thing. NC Nick, lock it up. North Carolina. I'm sorry, Georgia Tech minus 6 against North Carolina. Keenan Memorial Stadium. So I'm just trying to quickly pull this up. So in year 1 of Mac Brown coming back to North Carolina, remember he was there in the 90s with Dre Bly and all those guys. He beat Georgia Tech in year 1, 38-22, right? And you're thinking, okay, this guy, they had a bowl season. They were not supposed to be good. But since then, they didn't play Georgia Tech in the COVID season, by the way, because remember it was like a 10-game season. It was random. And Georgia Tech has whooped their ass ever since then. And those were some bad Georgia Tech teams. You look back at a year ago, it was 46-42, which I guess wasn't a true ass whooping, but the game before that was at 45-22. They've won 3 straight, kind of just as double-digit dogs, I think, or at least like 7-8 point dogs. I just think Georgia Tech's a team on the way up, and I think Carolina's on the way down. So I will take these Yellow Jackets minus 6. No lock though.
What is concerning for me is the complete inconsistency of UNC, and to give up 70 against JMU, who managed 13 against Gardner Webb and 16 against ULM, and to give up 70 against them. But at the same time, North Carolina, like you mentioned, pretty damn close to being 5-1 here.
Yeah, getting through the Minnesota game, I thought was so big. Now, obviously losing Lawn Chair Johnson sucks, but
Criswell hasn't played great, but Haynes King, I mean, I guess he played all right at the beginning, but he hasn't been on fire lately.
I still think you got to lean just Georgia, like Brent Key in this program, like has me believing in the future of Georgia Tech. I think that the crowd's not going to be a factor probably there.
I feel like, with Mac Brown kind of basically at this point out the door, you would figure, right?
Yeah.
If JMU and then 2 more straight losses, heartbreaking losses, Georgia Tech I think is trending in the right direction. So even in UNC, I agree the crowd's not going to be a factor there. Got to go Tech here with you.
Now let me ask you this, NC Nick, who's the next coach at Carolina?
That's a good question. I really haven't put too much thought to it, mid-season here.
I think he's coaching right now.
Chadwell?
I do. I think Jamie Chadwell. North Carolina loves a coach with a visor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mac Brown and Larry Fedora.
They can't afford Lane Kiffin, so
they can't afford Kiffin. All right. And they're still, although, Kiffin, we'll see how he does this week, but
He's a little too much of a scumbag for their like self-image, you know.
But Jamie Chadwell, very familiar with the Carolinas. He was at Charleston Southern. He was at Coastal Carolina. I know there's a South Carolina schools. He was also at North Greenville. But I still think right there,
no mullet will be in his contract if he goes.
Yeah,
with
that
North
will be, and yeah, you got to keep.
Well,
clean cut here.
that mullet's gone.
That's
Man,
true. At Liberty,
there was
I thought he brought
picture.
it back a little bit.
yeah. Once he saw Jerry Falwell jerking off in the corner, he's like, I got to get rid of my mullet.
I'd have to go back about
Going
2
bad
years.
places.
But I posted a picture of Chadwell at Coastal Carolina, and then one of him when like the press conference when he got hired at Liberty, and like he was all cleaned up, man. He was in a shirt and tie, no more scruff, no more mullet. It went quick.
I know. I'm telling you, you laugh, but I'm saying he went in to sign that contract, and in the corner of the room, Jerry Falwell was just jerking off in the corner. He's just like, I got to change my image around here. All right.
All right, I'm locking this game up. You guys are on Georgia Tech. What's next?
All right, next we go. Oh, to the McGurk. This is a battle we've been waiting for. I didn't realize when they let UMass into the SEC that they were actually going to give them a home game.
Right.
You know?
Crazy.
Unbelievable here.
They're grandfathered in at this point. They start getting some of the perks. You know,
UMass is catching a cool 28 at home at the McGurk. What is Patty C? Can you give me the weather in Amherst, Massachusetts this weekend? I know Missouri tends to get cold, but I'm just a bit fascinated by this elite
It's early
October.
October. Right, it's early October. We're not going to see like 20s or anything.
67.
Yeah,
but low of 38. So when is this game's being played in the morning?
Yeah,
now?
It's at the morning.
It's probably in the 50s at least.
Any chance of rain, snow, scattered showers? Classic nor'easter.
Partly cloudy.
Right?
I think Missouri can handle it.
Yeah, I'm taking UMass. UMass covered for me. You guys made fun of me last week. They were winning at halftime. They covered that number. They did lose, but there's something about this team. With the exception of the Buffalo game, they have been kind of in these games. They were in the game against Toledo. They blew like a 10-point fourth quarter lead against Toledo. Missouri is on a rebound game. I just don't think Missouri's that good. Give me the 28 in UMass. Are you telling me that Luther Burden with his NIL money is getting up for a game at the McGurk? Not buying it.
Well, after last game, you would figure.
I understand that side of it, but still, give me the 28. Nick,
you're giving them credit for keeping it close against MAC schools. So far, UMass has played 5 MAC schools.
Well, they're a MAC school next year.
I know. Well, apparently they're trying to be one this year. They haven't played a power conference team yet, and Missouri's coming off the loss. They go up there and smash them.
No.
Get this Northeast football out of here.
You know, it's something that'll stun you. What is UMass's record?
1-5, I think, or something like that. 1-4, 1-5. Yeah.
UMass has the number 34 offense and the number 41 defense in the nation from a yardage.
I told you, NC Nick's not buying in. He's a hater on this Northeast football.
I just told you who they've played so far. So let's see what they do against Missouri.
Still, to be in the top, basically third of the nation in both offense and defense, and still manage to be 1-4 and to have gotten slapped around, right?
Yeah.
It's impressive. That is actually kind of,
I told you,
an anomaly of sorts.
And next year they're going to hit the ground running in the new MAC. I'm telling you.
Colby wants him to be good. That's his problem.
You talked shit last week saying you keep taking them. They fucking covered for me. And by the way, they were winning at halftime.
I took UMass to cover also, but you don't lay that many points with
But
NIU.
I locked them. I locked them, and you didn't have the guts.
I didn't go that far.
All right. Let's go.
I always say this. Offensively, Missouri 85, but defensively 15, even after giving up how many to Texas A&M? You would
like
figure
40, I think.
40 some odd points. You figured that would drop them below 15.
They played nobody in the first few weeks, though.
That's true. They might have been like a top 5 defense before that, obviously. I do think it's too many points in the McGurk. I mean, UMass, is this their first game hosting an SEC opponent?
Ever. No. Wait. They got Mississippi State once. And they only lost by like 9 or 10. I feel like. Boom. They actually had the lead late in the game.
This could be a great. This could be Vanderbilt 2.0.
This is it, baby. Let's go. All right.
A week removed from top 10. Mizzou takes an L.
All right, folks. I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, yes. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports: NFL, college football, MLB, MMA, WNBA, NASCAR, and much, much more. Their lobby is jam-packed with profit boost. You can now use specials and boost on all flexed entries. So sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. NC Nick, gotta ask you, tomorrow night, Tyler Huff. Higher or lower 1.5 passing touchdowns for Jacksonville State there as they are hosting the New Mexico State Aggies.
Passing touchdowns. You don't have any rushing props?
Over. You got higher or lower a half rushing touchdown. How about this? 80,
give me that. Stop right there. Higher a rushing half a rushing touchdown.
How about 80.5 rushing yards too?
Oh, higher.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go higher over there with Tyler Huff. That's some of the great edge you could find over there at Underdog Fantasy. So jump on over there, underdogfantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. All right. We are back. And yeah, I mean,
by the way, I got these pulled up, so I forgive me people if I am redundant here. Jacksonville State and Tyler Huff is the leading rusher on Jacksonville State, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course,
number 23 rushing offense in the nation. New Mexico State number 129 rushing defense.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
He's gonna put up 150 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Bet some money, make some money.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just watching this game here. Let's jump to the next game. I'm curious if any of us have a lock on this one. Wisconsin is heading to Piscataway for that, taking on Danny DeVito and company there. Rutgers is laying 2.5. The over under set at 40.5. I'm on the Scarlet Knights, and I can be talked into a lock here because I just think they're a better team. They did go. Nick, did you get 7 or 7.5 against Nebraska?
I got 7.5. Well, so I to be fair, I actually bet it at 7, so it pushed, but I picked it on tally side at 7.5.
I think Rutgers is the play here. I think the bounce back spot at home. I can be talked. You want to bet this one?
Yes, and the fact that Wisconsin won 52-6 against maybe the worst team in the Power Four. You know, maybe it's giving people belief in Wisconsin. I'm not buying that shit against Purdue. I think this is similar to the Washington game a couple weeks ago. We bet that. I'll bet Rutgers at home again. Let's go.
Let's go. Double lock. Rutgers is going to be 5-1. The Golden Guido continues to roll. Patty C, what are you doing here?
It is tempting. I would say Wisconsin's performance is getting smoked by Alabama and USC, looking worse and worse after last week. Destroying Purdue. I don't know what it was but I think Purdue is just that bad, but maybe Wisconsin is rounding into form offensively a little bit, but still. Yeah, I think the spot here says that Rutgers will probably cover a close game. 2.5.
Locking it with us?
Come on, Patty.
Rutgers. I mean, the fact that they battled.
He's the biggest lobbyer for. He's got a photo of Golden Guido above his bed. You know what I mean?
I do love the Golden Guido. I think Monungai, ironically, Wisconsin might have trouble handling his physicality and the rushing game of fucking Rutgers' physicality, but. I'm not gonna lock it. No.
All right, we got a new Patty C. Patty Chicken.
Patty Chicken. Gosh, I can't even have my own bet without getting called a chicken here.
We just like giving you a hard
trans
time.
Patty. Now we got Patty Chicken.
Wisconsin. Let's remind you, Wisconsin won by fucking 6 touchdowns last week. And
against the worst fucking team.
Fucking Rutgers. I keep calling them New Jersey. They should be New Jersey. Rutgers. What, they managed 7 points at the end of the game against a pretty mediocre Nebraska team.
They scored earlier than that,
Patty.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I'm gonna get you a patty melt.
You know what?
I'm gonna get you a patty melt for all this bullshit.
I can't watch a game, observe the team, all right, and take anything away from it. Or
no tuck job here. All right.
Stick to your guns. I like it. Let's go.
Right.
All right. We're going Wisconsin. No, I'm going Rutgers, but I think I'm not locking it.
All right. Double lock on Rutgers for me and NC Nick. Moving along, the Gamecocks of South Carolina heading into Bryant Denny Stadium. I don't know if you've heard the caller on Feinbaum The fuck was his name again? The series goes back to 1937. Bama's laying 21. All right, I'll bet it. I think DeBoer has to blow them out after losing to Vanderbilt, which they hadn't lost to in 50 years or something. I think he's going to have to blow them out.
Well, I would say that Alabama did turn it on a little bit when they needed to after going down big. So assuming that they don't wait 2.5 quarters to do it against South Carolina, then yeah, 21 is a number they should cover. However, South Carolina has looked decent some weeks, not so decent. What was the final last week?
For South Carolina, they got rolled.
They got annihilated.
27-3.
I'm
going to bet this actually. I'm going to lay this number. They have to destroy them
against Mississippi, though.
They have to destroy them.
Who's got a better offense?
I'm laying it.
Mississippi or Alabama?
What are we talking about? Alabama
has a better offense than Ole Miss.
So. Yeah.
What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I think I'd say it's close, but I'll go with that.
See, I just worry about Mississippi is the type of offense that can destroy a defense that isn't prepared to stop it. I don't know that. I mean, 27 isn't that huge of a number for Ole Miss. So I guess South Carolina did keep that kind of close. Maybe you're right. Maybe Bama has a better offense. So the number's 21.
Yeah.
And it's in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
I'll take Bama.
Yeah. Anyone you gonna bet this with me?
I don't think I'm gonna bet it, but I'm there with you. I think you have to like the bounce back spot here.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're on YouTube watching, Noah has loaded up this. It was Legend on the Feinbaum show. Legend, you have an open invite to come on the show anytime you want. After that, great. Go listen to that rant. He compares it to like his wife cheating on him. With Alabama losing to Vanderbilt. It was absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Legend for being a passionate college football fan. And look, you don't sound like a. That's the one area where you can sound like a maniac where I'll give you a pass if you're just a big time college football fan. Let's go. I'm locking this though. No one's coming with me, huh?
South Carolina sitting there with the number 22 defense in the nation. That doesn't scare you off a little bit that maybe they're able to
Alabama's
a top 30 offense.
What's Georgia's defense?
Georgia is 23, so one below South Carolina.
See, Georgia has the offense though. South Carolina does not. Yeah. Alabama was up 28-0. They got to do something like that.
Situational football. Yeah, that favors Alabama. I agree with you.
All right, continuing on this journey, we got the Blazers of UAB. The modern game does not impress me. Giving up 70 does not impress me.
These spreads are starting to get bigger for Army. They're finally getting their respect.
Well, UAB just gave up 72 at home or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Is Trent Dilfer? He's still employed, huh?
For now,
unbelievably.
What do you guys make of that when Bryant Vincent's over there got ULM beating JMU, and we didn't even give Patty C's take on that game?
Yeah, we kind of did. I just didn't want to talk about it too much. But look, yeah, we shat the bed. Yeah.
I will lay the points with Army because the triple option. Have you seen? Let me see if I could quickly pull this up for you.
I can tell you that Trent Dilfer's played. He hasn't played Army, but he's played Navy twice. And the score of those games were both blowouts, but they technically would have covered 25.5. They lost 31-6 last year and 41-18 a couple weeks ago.
No,
but yeah,
this is a train wreck. Both of them, though.
Yeah, I agree.
I will lay the points.
Yeah, I think you have to. Come on.
Rob Donaldson cracking me up. The modern game does not impress me. Now watch me lose by 70 to the wing T. That is dead accurate. The wing T should have never gone away. It should be ran by a lot of these teams.
Well, I mean, the wing T would have impressed him last week. So.
Yeah, it would have. Patty, are you taking your boys?
I am number 1 rush offense versus number 127 rush defense. Expect Army to completely go off. And I don't know that UAB has an answer offensively. I think it'll be the same game that Army's played every single week of the season. 42-7, a 35-point win. It's par for the course for Army at this point. So yeah.
Yeah. Moving along, we got a classic for NC Nick, an ACC classic, goes back almost 100 years. Clemson heading into Winston-Salem, where man Dave Clawson and the Deeks have given a little trouble the past couple of years. Lost 12-7 last year, and they had the ball inside the 3. Then the year prior, I believe Clemson got him in overtime. Can Clawson keep that magic going, covering 20? Why not? Give me the Deeks plus 20. No bet, Nick.
I disagree. I think in the last couple of years, Clemson didn't have an offense, and they have that this year. Currently, the 16th best scoring offense in the country, and they're a very balanced offense, averaging 270 yards through the air a game and almost 200 rushing. And just think if they didn't have the Georgia game, that kind of brought those numbers down. So I'm going to go Clemson here. I mean, the game in my mind is when Ole Miss came to town and they beat Wake Forest 40-6. I think we might see kind of a similar score. I'm not high on Wake just because they beat NC State. So,
but they never win at NC State. You were milking that.
Well,
I ended up betting.
It was
the
true.
Pack. I ended up betting the filthy pussy pack.
What happens when you bet the pussy pack?
They do suck.
Wake
They're just
needed a bit of
whatever
a
you bet
comeback. Yeah, I was impressed by Wake. I mean, Clemson has covered this game, has covered a 20-point spread the majority of the past. However, since 2009, they haven't lost this game. They've been playing every year. So Clemson has dominated this rivalry, but you're right. It's been closer, 6 and 5 points respectively over the last 2 seasons. However, Clemson's way better. Cade Klubnik looks like Michael Vick, and Wake, even though they're pretty good, and I just don't, the home field advantage is so non-existent in this game that I guess that's a chalky play though. What you went with who?
I took Wake in the points.
You took Wake, Nick. Who'd you go with?
I went Clemson.
Clemson.
Tuck job. You giving us a tuck job here?
You know what? I'm gonna go Wake. I think they keep it within.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go. Washington is heading into Iowa City. Series goes back to 1937. Iowa off the rebound, laying 2. Washington just stormed the field, and Iowa at home. Are you kidding me? It's a team that played in the national championship last year.
Yeah, I would like to lock this up. Producer lock too.
I will lock up Iowa -2. Shout out Noah Beanick's on it too.
I'll jump on it with you.
Triple lock. Can we get a quadruple NC Nick?
Oh, it's a quad lock, guys. You know it.
My only concern is that Iowa is a super rush oriented team, and that's exactly what Washington just faced in Michigan and handled it completely. So is Washington going to be able to do the same thing against Iowa?
Iowa City's
that
Iowa
was at
City.
home. Yeah, they've already lost in Iowa City once this year, so I really like Iowa in this spot. I mean, I'm looking to fade most of these West Coast teams coming over to the Midwest. Like I faded Washington at Rutgers, like I faded USC at Minnesota last week.
Wait, did you see that stat that everyone's been talking about?
1 and 8.
Yeah,
when 2 time zones are
it's
traveled.
like, oh well, no shit. We've been covering it here on this show for 5 years, but you wanted to throw them all out of conference. I heard James
Franklin's, yeah,
he's complaining about they got to leave on Thursday because they can't. He's talking about they got to build a new airport in State College. The fuck is going on here?
Our runway isn't long.
Our runway's not long enough. We got to go to Harrisonburg, Pennsylvania.
Is this your first road trip?
Harrisburg. Yeah. And
how is that possible?
Your school president voted yes. Fuck off. All right. Deal with that travel.
He wasn't complaining about it when he had to play in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. Even though he had a month probably to get there, but still. Let's go. Quadruple lock on these Iowa Hawkeyes. Let's go.
That is a heater.
Quadruple lock. There we go. Getting it done.
If I ever get married, Colby, that's the song I'm going to play when my best men come out.
Okay, I'll sing it. I'll sing it.
You get the band together. Nick, you're a backup dancer.
Wow, it's gonna be quite the wedding.
Yeah. The whole chat's invited. This is their ticket.
Let's get that going.
Folks, want to tell you the college football experience is brought to you by BetUS. Bet with the business. Jesus, I can't talk. Bet with the best in the business with BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. You can easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. Sign up and get and deposit $100. You have a chance to win a 1960 Ford Mustang. Patty C, could you imagine you riding around Santa Monica and Venice Beach and Marina Del Rey in a 1960 Stang?
Yeah.
The Tang was just inviting you. They're tapping on the hood of your car saying, "Come on over here."
Boom.
Can I get a ride, Patty?
I mean, come on. What are we doing here? I told Beanick, that he's been driving that LeBaron a little too long. Throw $100 in here, get that 1960 Ford Mustang. All the women in Ypsilanti will be sitting there raving about the old Ford Mustang from 1960. Use our link to sign up. Also, you're going to get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. I mean, that's a hell of a good deal right there. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Promo code SGPN so they know that we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. SGPN's proud partner. Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom, predictive betting models in just a matter of seconds. They'll get you predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, props. Look, and you can just sit back and relax, copy one of the top leading, top models from the leaderboard, or you could build your own model. That's what I would do. And then Rhythm will adjust around what you select. Rhythm gives you predictions for betting on every game and player prop, and also has a slew of stats, research, and trend analysis to give you even more of a betting insight. I told you I like Jacksonville State tomorrow to get it done. So jump on over there. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right. The chat's talking about shotgunning Mick Ultras right before you say I do.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get a chick that'll do it with me. I'm gonna chick that'll do a keg stand on the altar. Let's go.
Let's go. One of my favorites was you were just shithoused at your brother's wedding, and they hot potatoed you the mic, and you delivered one of the all-time greatest.
That was up and down performance there on the microphone,
buddy. I love you for that one. I forever love you for that one, man. It
ended well. I made it work.
You said, let's enjoy this goddamn party.
I almost revealed some of my brother's. There
was a point where.
I might have broken up the marriage.
Yeah. There's a point where he talks about they took a break. And he was like, yeah, and he was out there and he was crushing it, but something bothered him within.
I could see his wife just looking at him like,
I'm sitting there with my buddy and I'm like, oh yes, this is getting fantastic. Right, we got to get Patty another fucking Jaeger bomb. Anyway, you're the man, buddy. I love you forever for that one. Continuing on this journey. I did not think that was going to come up today, but we go to the MAC, Amherst, New York, right outside of Buffalo, in a series that goes back to 1925. The Toledo Rockets are heading over to take on Pete Lembo. Nobody goes into Lembo Field and gets a dub. All right, at UB Stadium. Toledo's laying 9.5. I'm going to keep this lock party going. I think Buffalo's live, guys. Give me the Bulls plus the points. Fuck with the bull, you get the horns, NC Nick. You riding along or not?
I did circle Buffalo a few weeks ago as a team I'm going to take as a home dog in MAC play. And I think this line stinks. I'm kind of surprised it's less than 10. I would have thought, after Buffalo's last game where they lost 47-3 at UConn, I thought Toledo would be favored by 2
big
touchdowns
red flag.
So the line stinks, which is why I like Buffalo even more. But I don't feel confident enough to actually bet them. I'm picking Buffalo, but
come on,
I'll let you bet them.
They've already hit for me as a double-digit dog once against Northern Illinois. The MAC 9.5 in the MAC is ridiculous. That should never happen.
Be a back-to-back performance? You beat Northern Illinois, who Tranny Patty is going to say they beat Notre Dame, right? But then the next week you lose by 44 to
because UConn is a fucking powerhouse. I've been telling you about that. They were my #1 lock, win total over 4.5.
It's still just like the most different performance from one week to the next. The bye week probably does settle Buffalo down a little bit. However, Toledo, traditionally a much better team than Buffalo, so I think I'm going to ride history a little bit here. Even on the road, I think they cover 9.5. Give me the Rockets,
folks. With my play here, make sure you sprinkle the money line because I think they're live to win this thing. All right.
Well, I will say this: Toledo hasn't been as dominant, with the exception of the Mississippi State game, as they typically are. Some relatively close games. UMass taking an L to Western Kentucky and kind of skirting by. Miami, Ohio is pretty good this year, right? So that was a decent win.
Well, they haven't looked at. They were expected to be.
It was last year, I think you're thinking of.
Yeah, I was. Who's the quarterback? Gabbert hasn't played as well as people thought. So I don't know. Yeah, Toledo not that great. I wouldn't bet this game.
Well, I am, and I'm saying take Buffalo. All right, sprinkle that money line. Moving along. Another classic action game.
This is a shit fest. This is the worst game of the week, right?
I want to say relegation. The loser should be not allowed to play in the FBS next year. Ball State heading into Dick Stadium. The house that Jack Lambert and Nick Saban built, and Lou Holtz. How do they not have more money? I've been saying that forever. It's like you got the hey Nick, hey Saban. All right, you got some of that college game day blood money, or one of your damn 100 car dealerships, your Cadillac dealerships all over. Why don't you kick back to Kent State a little bit? All right, Ball State's laying 7. I'm taking the points. Kenny Burns. All right, you give me a nice boring Civil War documentary over this bullshit, but I will take the 7 and Kent State. Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm going to lay it, actually. I mean, Ball State is 0-2 in MAC play, but in those 2 games, they put up 42 and 34 points. So they're scoring a little bit. And Kent State just gave up 52 to Eastern Michigan. That's the most Eastern Michigan scored in like a decade, I think. I like Ball State here.
I'm not betting this game.
No,
that is very logical, but I just feel like, I mean, both these coaches might not be there next year.
Listen to this stat. These are the 2 worst teams in the nation defensively. Ball State 133, Kent State 134. But Ball State giving up 512 yards as the second worst team in the nation. Kent State giving up 583. They're 70 yards.
Whoa, no. Ball State though. Kent State played what? Penn State and Tennessee.
Okay, they will put up some yardage. What's Ball State's hardest competition?
Miami, the Hurricanes. So but the second
and
one being
James Madison.
Oh, there's the JMU talent.
Let's throw it in there. Okay, let's be honest. And we hung 63 on their bitch asses, which is more than Miami put on them. So fuck you. Look, both have played pretty good competition. Kent State is terrible. I'm going to take Ball State to cover. Plus, they're my boys.
There we go.
Shout out to Blanton in the chat. I know he's our App State guy, so I don't know if he still lives in the Boone area, but hopefully all is well with him.
Blanton, please reach out to me on Twitter at @TheColbyD if you get a minute, brother. Hope you and your family. If you're, I do remember you being an App State guy, and if just reach out to me, buddy. And look, I appreciate you guys are the best and make the season even more fun than it is. Well, that's what college football is supposed to be. You know, they want to make it serious, but they can't. For everyone, that wants to. There's Diego pissing Pavia. You know what I mean? There's just for each one of that, you can't escape it. It's supposed to be fun. All right. This is not the no fun league. We want fun. Reach out to me though, brother. Appreciate you. Moving along, we got the classic. Stay in the MAC. Patty C's Red Hawks are heading into Ypsilanti or Beanick. He's done some damage. Let me tell you.
I bet.
Ask him what girl he brought to the 50-yard line in Ypsilanti at the factory. They don't call it the factory for. Why do you think they really call it the factory?
Because Noah's
I'm saying
assembling some fucking.
He kept that thing going.
Gold mine hookups over there. I don't know what the fuck.
She's still raving about. She's still raving about her trip to the factory. All right. Why is Miami favored here? They're laying 2.5. I'm on Chris Creighton, and look, I might cash a wager here because I'm over 4.5 wins on Eastern Michigan, and they're 4-1 right now. Give me EMU, these Eagles, to fly high at home against this Miami team. It seems like
floundering a little bit.
Yeah. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I disagree. I'm going to go Miami of Ohio. I mean, look, this is a team that was expected to contend. I mean, they won the MAC last year and returned a pretty good chunk of that squad. No, they have not looked good this year. Eastern Michigan looks better than expected. Eastern Michigan's 5-0 ATS. That shit ain't going to last forever. I'm going to lock up Miami of Ohio because this is when they finally show up. I'm going to give you one more chance, Red Hawks.
Do I need to remind you the last time they played? Chris Creighton did what Chris Creighton did and what he does, which is win 13-12 against Miami, Ohio.
Not going to happen this time. Miami's going to win 15-12.
To lock this up is foolish. This is a crazy lock. I'm trying to talk him off this edge here, but NC Nick, lock it up. The Miami, Ohio Redbirds Red Hawks, Redskins, whatever the fuck.
It's
right?
really not that big of a number considering what happened last year. But Eastern Michigan has been playing a lot better football, and Miami, Ohio, not nearly as impressive. Brett Gabbert was pretty much unanimously considered the number 1 quarterback coming in. 10th in passing efficiency in the MAC this year so far, way behind the rest of them. Obviously, Cole Snyder at Eastern Michigan ahead of him. So, Chris Creighton's got his boys playing ball. I will lean Eastern Michigan here.
Let's go. Weehawks say Western Carolina is allowing fans to this week's home games.
Let's be honest too. Eastern Michigan's performance against Western Carolina. Sorry, I'm cutting off an important thing here.
What's
Go
that?
ahead.
No. Talking to that
I'm gonna
mic.
say Eastern Michigan's performance against Jacksonville State looking better and better.
Oh
Man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Hold on. So what were you saying about?
No, Weehawk was saying Western Carolina fans allowed at this week's home game. Players at football, baseball, women, and soccer and others were at our single strip airport helping unload supplies. That's fantastic. And yeah,
and the games are being played.
Yeah, last week they played. They beat Wofford. They didn't have any fans there, but they played the game. So
starting to get back
there
on
we go.
track.
Shout out to the good people of Colowee, and shout out to all those players that came out to help.
A long way away, but keep working on it. Love to hear it.
Let's go. NC Nick locking up those Red Hawks. What about this one? We got a lock here potentially at Center Park Stadium, the place where Chili Davis was hitting dingers. Old Dominion is catching 1.5. I struggle with this one. I think this is one of the harder games on the slate. Give me ODU minus 1.5, but I don't know. Nick?
Yeah, I don't know anybody that should feel good about this one. I think ODU is the better team. They've had a much tougher schedule. Georgia State did beat Diego Pavia unexpectedly, but I'm still not believing in them. I'm going to go ODU also.
Patty?
In Atlanta, you're right. Center Park Stadium, not much of a home field advantage. I would say Old Dominion losing to Virginia Tech so badly, looking a little better now. Both of these, I mean, the head-to-head matchup there, Georgia State does have that advantage, but that's one data point. I'm going to say Old Dominion too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have strong conviction. If you're betting this game, you got to be going to it. That's the only thing I can think of there. The Calgorithm.
This is a fun game.
Heading to Heinz Stadium, or whatever the fuck they're calling it now, to take on the Pitt Panthers. Pitt's laying 3. Over under at 59.5. Patty C said it's a fun game. Pitt's ranked. They're 5-0 for the first time since Dan Marino and his dynamic wife. Jade not playing. Yeah, I'm on Pitt. I just think that's I just think Pitt is just doing it. That's a far trip, man. And you just had such an emotional week with the first time you had college game day. Then you blow a 30-point lead or whatever it was. I'm on Pitt to take care of business there. I'm laying the 3. No lock though. Nick, what are you doing here?
I actually think it's a good spot to fade Pitt. I mean, Cal's basically in the same spot as what Virginia Tech was last week, right? Virginia Tech should have beat Miami. Not exactly the same scenario game wise, but they should have beat Miami, had to travel cross country. Of course, Pitt is better than Stanford, but Pitt is 5-0, surprisingly 5-0 ATS. I'm going to go Cal here. I think, Cal needs it more.
Yeah. Series goes back to 1955. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Interesting. Cause Pitt is the number, I just had it a second ago, number 6 passing offense in the nation. Cal, the number 91 passing defense in the nation. So expect Pitt to be able to move the ball through the air. However, Cal does still lead the nation in interceptions at 2.2 a game. So look, that showed up against granted, Cam Ward throwing the ball 500 feet in the air probably helped inflate Cal's stats, but maybe there's something more to it. Maybe the pressure that Cal's bringing helps them. I don't know. I feel like Pitt has been living on the edge with a horseshoe up their ass, and it's time for their luck to run out. So I think Cal gets motivated and comes in and covers this thing.
There we go.
I mean, what? Cal's been in the Eastern time zone, 3 or 4 times already this season?
I mean, the fact
Auburn, Florida State.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a lot of wear and tear on them. I'll take Pitt. Yeah, in the chat, no, we did not lock up Old Dominion. Chat was asking. Moving along, we are going to Orlando, the bounce house. Did you see how many players transferred out this past week
from UCLA?
I hate this new day and age that we live in, by the way, man.
I'm gonna give you some shit. You kind of asked for it.
Me?
Why? Yes, you specifically wanting players getting paid. You know,
They were always getting paid, Patty.
yeah, but now the fact that
But
it's
before they were getting fucked over.
sure, but now that they're not getting fucked over, they can leave at their own leisure.
But this is why they should get rid of this. Coaches argued to get this, 4-game, thing where you could play 4 games. I just say give every athlete 5 years. Give every athlete 5 years, and
some
then
other coach was saying that, but
yes,
it makes sense.
but it's ridiculous to quit on your team right now. I mean, UCF could still easily play for the Big 12 championship. They just lost to Florida and Colorado. Florida's not a conference game. So you already have a win against TCU. So you're 1-1 in conference. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Their kicker quit. Their wide receivers, their DBs.
It's pretty weak.
It's just some bullshit.
Well, they're trying to get
man.
one more paycheck.
Yeah. Still.
If they can redshirt, that means they get another paycheck next year. I guess you can't blame them.
You got to write into these NIL deals that you get paid quarterly. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's some bullshit if they're
there has to
pocketing
be
the money.
some more
Yeah.
structure to it.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
There's an absolute free for all.
Yeah, Cincinnati. This is an old AAC game. They're heading into Orlando. LFG say you didn't hear that. UCF lost their starting kicker. They like not only that, like their starting safety who was previously a Cincinnati transfer. There's a bunch of players that left town for UCF there. Do a deep dive on that because it's a good amount that just up and quit the team.
On top of that, they've been extremely disappointing this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
not
only
guy
the
that
last
has the over. Yeah,
not only the last 2 weeks where they've been, they've lost by double digits, but even like the TCU game, they needed like a crazy comeback in order to win that. I don't see how you can bet them right now. I trust Cincinnati more. I think Sorsby's playing good football. I think you got to go Bearcats here.
I'm going to go UCF because I think Malzahn thrives under pressure. He did it at Auburn where they almost fired him a bunch of times. Then he ends up like having a great win. So I will take UCF, but no lock. Nick, you betting this?
No, I don't think so.
Patty, what are you doing here in Orlando at the Moon Bounce?
Well, they both have their strong points. UCF obviously under Malzahn is a rushing team. Cincinnati has become a passing team under Sorsby at the helm. So I expect the points to fly. I don't think either of them is a defensive juggernaut. So just like we saw Texas Tech and Cincinnati last week, I expect a similar performance this week. I hate to say it, but I think I'm with you. I think I got to go UCF here.
Yeah.
Who thought Sorsby would be the better get than KJ Jefferson?
True.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Sorsby has been playing ball. Number 15 passing offense in the nation for Cincinnati right now. But I just don't I trust Satterfield to find a way to lose games.
Yeah, and like Jack says, I was kind of bullish on Jefferson with Malzahn. Not kind of. I think I was.
That's it. Would you say that Cincinnati got fucked by the refs against Texas Tech? A little bit.
Little bit.
I'd be interested to see if anyone gets favored in this game.
All right, continuing on this journey, the Akron Zips are heading into Kalamazoo. Make sure you check out Waldo's for the liquor pitchers. Western Michigan cost me last week, Nick. I know you too, right?
They've been a disappointment.
They have been.
They're
laying 8.5.
No. Last week I didn't bet them. I bet them against Marshall. That was 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah.
Well, you saw what my Zips did last week, right? You guys talked all that shit. They pushed Bowling Green to the brink. It was a 20-20 game with 5 minutes left. Bowling Green squeaked it out.
Respect.
Akron is getting too many points here. They're going to cover the 8.5. I know they only have one win, but they'll cover this number. Nick?
I guess I'm going to go Western Michigan one more time here. They have been a major disappointment. It seems like I was wrong on them in the offseason. I'm going to give them one more chance too. This is my one more chance for MAC schools this week, but I'm not going to bet them.
We have a situation right now. As you know, Patty C, I think you're with me, but I took Florida International. They are at the 1 yard line.
Oh man!
I think you go for 2 if you score.
Yeah,
I think you go for 2 right now if you score. This
might bite the dust. Another undefeated might go down.
This Liberty
right
team has just not looked the part this year, man.
As somebody who needs some more rushing yards from Caden Salter, I say kick the extra point, go to overtime.
Patty C, what are you doing in this Maction game in Kalamazoo there?
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, Nick, but starting first overtime and second overtime from the 25, it's probably a max of. I guess he could get there if he.
I don't need that much more yardage. He's gotten 0 rushing yards in the second half so far. Crazy.
In this Maction game, I am going to ride Western Michigan as well. I'm sorry, Colby.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
maybe I am disrespecting Akron. That was a very impressive performance last week against Bowling Green. However, that was their first impressive performance of the entire year. So.
Well, they beat Colgate by double digits. So please. We got second and goal. FIU is at the 1 yard line of the Flamin' Libs. Moving along, San Jose State heading to Fort Collins. This series goes back to 1961. And I think FIU just tied it up. San Jose State's laying 1.5. We should be talking about this, by the way, because don't look now, but San Jose State
hanging around a little bit.
Well, their one loss is an overtime loss to Wazoo by 2 in Pullman.
Yeah.
They do have to go to Fresno on the 26th, but getting Boise and UNLV, who they tied with last year, to win the conference. In San Jose, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Watch out, man. San Jose is better than Colorado State, and that's why I think it's incredibly disappointing. They're lining up for the 1, by the way. It's incredibly disappointing if you're a Colorado State fan watching this season when you see Jay Norvell, and I like Jay. He came on this show. He's a great guy, but at the same time, you were thinking man, they'd be able to kickstart this. You see Niumatalolo walk in, radically change the offense. And they're sitting there 4-1. This is what Colorado State should have been this year. Last year,
didn't they have a significant lead on Wazoo at some point in that game?
Yeah.
They could easily. Wazoo pretty much had a miracle comeback in Pullman. Otherwise, San Jose State would be 5-0.
Yeah. So what an unbelievable. He should be in the names for the coach of the year, man. Especially if he continues, if he just gets them bowling. But they look the part, man. When you watch them, you're like, hey, this team's pretty good. Nick, what are you doing here in Fort Collins?
Everything you said is true. With all that said, I'm going to take Colorado State, a little home yapper. I saw what on the road overtime at in Corvallis, they showed fight. I think they come back home, and San Jose State is due for a little bit of regression after that very nice start to the season. Give me the Rams at home. Ram it.
Wow, NC Nick saying ram it. Patty C,
this is one where I am I'm going to weather.com to get a play on this game. Saturday, 79 high. So San Jose State will be comfortable. It's not going to be November weather, obviously, yet for Colorado State. So maybe that it plays in San Jose State's favor. So I guess I'll take San Jose State.
There we go. Moving along. Penn State heading into USC. I was actually thinking about going this game before I realized it was on at the exact same time as the Red River Shootout. Hey, college football, do better. I don't give a shit which conferences own what networks, or which networks own what conferences. But playing this game, even with me having an 8 TV setup, at the same time of the Red River Shootout, is a terrible, terrible idea.
Yeah.
Right? Someone should be fired for that decision. The series goes back 100 years. Penn State's laying 5.5 at USC, and
Penn State can't get the national spotlight if their life fucking depends on it. I feel like they are just doomed to be second fiddle for most of this year.
Look, there's 3 gigantic games this week. Maybe you can argue 4. They should have all went seamlessly into one another.
Yeah.
It should have went the Red River Shootout into Penn State, USC, into Oregon, Ohio State. They fail us once again. These TV idiots. This is not rocket science. I'm taking USC plus the 5.5. I think they're live on the money line. Penn State, I feel like even though they're and that's another thing, is they're number 4 in the nation. Why? Okay, I guess the West Virginia win was a dominating win, and it looks better and better. But other than that, I didn't come away super impressed in the Illinois and UCLA games. Even the Bowling Green and Kent State, they won 56-0, but that shit took them a while to get started. I don't know that they deserve to be number 4 in the nation. So I will take USC. I think that USC also can win this on the money line. Patty?
I'm going to go the opposite direction. I mean, we saw UCLA really struggle against Penn State last week. UCLA has kind of slapped USC around for 2 of the last 3 years. A 18-point win last year. They only lost by 3 2 years ago, and then won by 29 the year before. So I think at best USC is comparable to UCLA. They play a similar, kind of finesse style, Penn State just going to grind them down on the road. And plus, I think USC's maybe falling apart. Maybe I think they're starting to turn on Lincoln Riley.
Well, Bear Alexander, he quit the team, right?
Yeah, that's true. Do you think Lincoln Riley makes it through the offseason and is the coach next year?
I do.
You do.
I do, because I think they look better than what I thought they were going to look this year, despite being 3-2. They should have beat Michigan probably.
If they go 3-3 here, the seat's going to be cooking. I think Penn State gets it done and they cover.
NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Matter of fact,
I agree with Patty C. Actually,
Woo! Patty C's locking it. Nittany Lions.
Double lock. Let's go, Patty C.
Wow. Didn't they read the stat about the teams that come out to the West Coast?
Yeah, that's true.
Have fun, guys.
That's a good point.
Sorry, but I'm out on USC. I mean, look back at their schedule now. Now that we know more about teams, was that win over LSU all that impressive?
It's better than anything Penn State's won. LSU's better? I would take.
Might be just as good.
I would take LSU to beat West Virginia.
I probably
well, one was a neutral site, one was a road game.
Fair.
And one was dominant,
but
one was close.
One road game had a fucking like 10-hour lightning delay that ruined the home edge.
Yeah.
What Penn State can do is run the rock, the same thing that Michigan and Minnesota can do, and those teams beat up on USC. USC was like struggling with shitty Wisconsin at halftime a couple weeks ago at home. I think Penn State's a better team. I think USC is a little phony here. So yeah, they can travel out to sunny California and get it done here. Let's go.
Brian Kelly's the type of dude to lose that
Lock
game.
battle, Colby.
Finesse on finesse. Brian Kelly just happened, or Lincoln Riley just happened to get the better of him.
Let's do a little battle. I'm getting 5.5. I'm not buying into your bullshit. James Franklin in a big game. Fuck you. All right. You guys act like he hasn't dropped the ball in every big game ever.
Touche. Although I mentioned this in the text to you guys, I pinpointed this on the calendar in a few weeks. If Ohio State is able to get by Oregon and Penn State can get by this one, then we might have, assuming Texas takes an L either against Oklahoma this week or maybe Georgia next week, then we could have a Penn State versus Ohio State number 1 versus number 2 in about 3 or 4 weeks here. So
Penn State's not good enough. They're not good enough. This is a team that beat Bowling Green, who's since lost to a bunch of shitty teams, right?
Well, Penn State,
by 7. Right. This was a 14-7 game against Illinois in the fourth quarter. Right? They only beat UCLA by 16. This team is not good enough.
Well, my breakdown last week was that, Penn State's, bread and butter football tackling and blocking will be countered a little bit by UCLA's athleticism. USC has more athleticism, so maybe they can press them and make it a battle. But still, it's USC not that impressive. Penn State been pretty damn impressive so far.
I don't think Penn State's been pretty damn impressive. I will push back on that take. I think USC has actually been more impressive as far as the way I visualize them this season. I think they're ahead of where I thought they would be.
Well, the Bowling Green result is in your favor. I'll give you that.
Let's go battle. All right. See you at the winner's circle. To the chat, not to you two bozos. San Diego State's heading to Laramie. Good God, don't make me pick this game. Both these teams have been killing me. This series goes back to 78. San Diego State's laying 2.5 on the road. No. Laramie's probably cold. Me and NC Nick were up there right around this time. Got a little chilly. there.
It did. It did. We might have got some hot chocolate from the vendors.
Yeah, and I had to plead with them because they were almost out. I said, "Please give me some of that hot chocolate."
Laramie weather on Saturday: high of 73, low of 39. So, what time is this game being played?
That's how it started too. Like when at kickoff, it was beautiful, and then man, that shit dropped quick.
Shit got chilly in a minute. Yeah. San Diego State can't play at 39 degrees,
and that's why I'm taking the Wyoming Cowboys to get this done. But don't bet this game. I've been so bad with both these fucking teams, specifically Wyoming, but still with San Diego State, it's been a grind. Nick,
I agree. Wyoming got off the schneid against Air Force. They're off a bye week. They're at home. They beat San Diego State by a field goal.
I'm gonna stay Aztecs right now. I need to see more from Wyoming.
All right, moving along. Stanford catching 24 against Notre Dame. Haven't we seen this game before? You can't give this many points.
Huge loss. Yeah. I mean, huge number. That's a huge number.
I mean, I know. I need to know. That's another thing we got killed on Stanford last week was Ashton Daniels didn't play.
Yeah.
And there is a big drop off between him and the backup. I'm still taking the points. Look, Miami, Ohio hit when they were getting 20. Northern Illinois won the game outright when they were getting 20. I think the Louisville game was a push. I'm taking the 24. Give me Stanford in the 24. Nick?
I agree. Too many points. I think it's probably a field goal to a touchdown. Too many points. I'll take Stanford. Well, I don't think anybody knows if Daniels is playing. Yeah, we love doing the show on Tuesday. The only problem is we have less injury updates. You probably won't know until like Friday or Saturday morning, though. So that's why you probably don't bet it until you figure that out.
Yeah. Shout out to John in the chat. How did Arizona treat you boys? It was myself stacking the money, and Real Money Kramer was fantastic. Shout out to Venezia's Pizza. If you're in the Tempe, Phoenix, Scottsdale area, Venezia's Pizza is the greatest pizza. And they, not only that, they even got a fucking calzone that'll be fantastic. So go check it out. And Tempe is awesome. That game was awesome. Came down to the final play of the game, and the crowd was great. Bobby Hurley was there in the booth with us at one point.
Amazing.
Yes, it was fantastic. Yeah. So shout out to that. But Patty C, what are you doing in the Stanford Notre Dame game?
Look, I knew even though Troy Taylor was there, that this team's DNA was still running the ball. They are number 105 in passing, number 72 in overall rushing yards. So even though they moved to this spread offense, they're still running the ball better than they are passing. Which kind of, Notre Dame, the number, I want to say 16 passing team in the nation's passing defense. So, but that doesn't play into Stanford's, wheelhouse. So Stanford, I think, will rush the ball enough to keep the game close against Notre Dame. 24, way too many points. Tempted to lock. Anyone locking?
No. The quarterback situation is too big of a question mark right now.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
All right. Next up. Now, speaking of locks, I got one for you. Purdue's the worst fucking team. Now, I thought about this. I almost did not bet this game because I thought, will Bielema be nice to his former defensive coordinator, Ryan Walters? I'm sorry. But I just think you're not in a position to do that. You're coming off a loss. Purdue's fucking horrible. All right. The Illini cruise. This is like a 35-7 type game. I'm laying it. Now, I did get a better number than this, but still at this, anything lower than 21, jump on it.
I feel like there was another game last week that was a coach versus a former coach.
I took Wisconsin last week minus the points against Purdue, and that was Purdue's fucking horrible. Nick, what are you doing here?
I don't have that many locks this week. I was definitely on Illinois. You can't pick Purdue right now. I'm gonna lock it with you. Let's go.
Double lock.
I'll jump on.
Oh.
Purdue is probably the worst Power 5 team.
It's either them or Mississippi State, right?
Professor sucking these nuts says Purdue's about to flip the switch. What switch we talking about, Professor?
The basketball switch with the season coming.
The Matt Painter switch.
Yeah, the Matt Painter switch about to happen. Let's go. Triple lock. Let's go. Shout out to the Jews. Venezia's Pizza is fantastic. He's raving about it. It is the best in Arizona. Venezia's Pizza. Get on out there. What'd you say, NC Nick?
Speaking of playing to win, Liberty is not punting on 4th and inches from the 50. They're playing for overtime.
50.
Ooh, that was 4th and inches. He was like a half yard away. Let's go. FIU. You got this. Moving along. Actually, let's switch over to the B side here. Let's use this fine moment to switch to the B side of the college football experience. We went all the way up to the middle of the 12:30 Pacific time kick games. Go check out the B side. Subscribe to the college football experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. YouTube.com/the college experience. Patty C's on Twitter at Patty C831. Noah Beanick's on Twitter at Noah B77. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D, and NC Nick's on Twitter at NC__NICK. Make sure you give us a follow and check us out. All right, we are back on the B side of the college football experience, and it is time. Go check out the A side. We went all the way up to 12:30. The final 2 games or 3 games at the 12:30 slate we're about to cover, and it starts with this. We got the Red River Shootout.
B-side is heated.
I'm sorry. Like, can we have a conversation about this? This game delivers way more than Ohio State, Michigan.
This is easily the best game in college football.
Yes,
over the
I
past
agree. I agree.
15
This game, short of the Dylan Gabriel injury, when they got blasted, like remember he got injured against TCU.
I think even a 49-0 whipping with people crying in the stands is more entertaining than most of the games.
This game is fucking insane. Every time they play this game, it's insane. So when I see a spread, I know it's at 15. I got it at 16 already. I'm sorry. You give Brent Venables 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I expect trick plays. Quinn Ewers not 100%. Oklahoma's defense, I think, can keep him in this game. And let's be honest. I was thinking about this today. Patty, so you have the top offenses.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me what Michigan's offense is
overall? Or,
yes.
Michigan is sitting there at number 24.
Offensively?
Yeah, Timo.
No
scoring
way.
offense.
Surprising. Scoring offense. Michigan is number 6. Wow. Am I looking? No. I went back to 2022.
I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I'm like,
no. I went back
I've watched this offense,
and
Noah's about to come
way.
to the screen and be like,
I
no
haven't been
fucking way.
quoting you wrong stats.
I was gonna answer before Patty even opened his mouth, and
I haven't been quoting you wrong stats.
I didn't.
I just wanted to check on Purdue, who was the last team on the A side. By the way, Purdue number 22 offensively 2 years ago, 86, and now 110 offensively.
Yeah.
That's what I was
That's
saying.
life without Jeff Brom.
Yeah.
Shout out to EB Steelers. Colby, is this one of the games you're cool with being at a neutral site? 1,000%. The Cotton Bowl is to me a premier stadium. It is by far, to me, one of the top 5 to 10 stadiums for a football game in America.
It was like what, the second bowl game ever played, right?
The Dallas Cowboys used to play there. So many fucking big time games there. How many big time college football and high school games? You can't tell the story of college football without the Cotton Bowl. And I know people say, well, the bathroom's flooded. They don't understand what the fuck a good stadium is. Who gives a shit
the deal
about
with
that,
the Orange
right?
Bowl too. They had the piss troughs.
They don't know.
The whole
Who cares?
stadium,
It's not supposed to be like you're going to a goddamn club when you go to a football game. All right, the Cotton Bowl is way better than anything.
The more uncomfortable and rowdy, the better. Okay, Michigan 118 in total offense this year. Sorry.
All right, so
slightly different.
Michigan's 118. Patty C, what is Colorado State's offense?
Colorado State
this year.
Yeah, this year, not 2022.
is 98 offensively.
What is UTSA's?
San Antonio. I can't find it. What do they go as UTSA? 65.
Wow, that's shocking to me. That's that FCS game. What is Mississippi State?
Mississippi State is sitting at where the fuck are they? 79.
ULM.
Oh.
So they still haven't played a top that a better
130. Monroe.
So they've played literally. UTSA is the best offense that they played.
65 with almost in the bottom half of the nation.
And I think UTSA diluted those stats by having Houston Christian on the schedule, right? Or I'm sorry, Houston Baptist, whatever the fuck they're calling it now, right? Yeah. But here's the problem: what is Oklahoma's offense?
To be fair, Oklahoma 121.
This is incredible. Texas has had a horseshoe up their ass. Remember last season how many backup quarterbacks they played? When the hell are they going to play a decent offense? It's next week. It's Georgia. It's incredible that they can go like 2 years without playing a good quarterback or a good offense. But
Georgia's only 54. That's not a fucking elite offense either.
Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia is going to be the one to piss on their face.
Well, that's kind of like Michigan last year. Michigan, I think, played the entire season without playing a top 45 offense and defense. You know, a team that had
incredible.
Both. Usually a team that is in the playoff or in the national championship is at least top 20, if not top 15 or 10 in both. They didn't play anyone the entire season that was in the top 45 in both offense and defense. So Texas may have a similar path this year somehow.
Unbelievable. I'm locking up Oklahoma, guys. I just think this is where I already bet this. I got it at 16. Is at 15? Whatever the fuck. It's at 14.5. I see right now on the book. I still think anything over 2 touchdowns, I'm taking. Quinn Ewers is questionable. If you're telling me Arch Manning, you're giving Brent Venables 2 weeks to prepare for Arch Manning. I like that as a favorable play. But I do think Ewers is going to play. So I think That will be the one scary thing. But I still think, come on, man, Oklahoma, giving them 2 weeks. It's just this game. I've seen this game too many years.
Yeah,
that's just like 1,000 points. So I will take Oklahoma. Nick, you coming with?
I'm sorry. Caden Salter just ran in a 9-yard touchdown, which puts him at 60 yards, which is a plus 550 score. As long as that, or a 550 win. If that stays true, if there's no kneel downs or anything, and overtime there shouldn't be, so we should be good. I'm with you. I think Oklahoma definitely covers this. It's too many points in a rivalry game. Texas has yet to be challenged. I think is Quinn Ewers starting? Do we know that for sure?
It's questionable.
The whole quarterback thing, I don't like that. Yeah, give me the dog here. Lock it up.
Patty C, do we have a triple lock brewing?
I am nervous to triple lock this. I will say one thing. Tennessee, the number 5 offense in the nation in yards per game. Texas, the number 7 offense, and then assuming that we wonder what Oklahoma would do against a high-powered offense. They held Tennessee to 25. I think Texas, though, a much different offense than Tennessee. Tennessee, typically, like you say, a gimmick offense. Texas, a balanced ass offense. It's hard to slow that down because
not if Quinn Ewers doesn't play.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Although Arch Manning hasn't been playing terrible.
He played ULM and still Mississippi State.
The talent is there. You can see him running.
They struggled against Mississippi State.
3-9,
that was a 14-7 game.
Yeah, they took a while. Still, just the game alone. Yeah, you have to take Oklahoma here.
No triple lock though, huh?
Sure.
There we go.
There we go. Triple lock.
I think the money line's always in play.
In the shootout.
Who's it? Michael, who's the quarterback for
Hawkins?
Hawkins.
Yeah.
He's been looking decent. That's a big ask for him to come in and win this game outright.
I can't wait. We don't even know if Texas's secondary is good. Because remember last year they were fucking horrible, but they just haven't played any team that with a pulse that can pass the football. I don't think Oklahoma's that team though. So we'll see if it's Georgia. But Georgia's receiver got arrested today. Colby Young,
number 2
7th this year.
Yeah,
good God.
Georgia's 7th arrest.
Yeah,
there is a culture problem there.
Yeah.
That's not an accident.
Yeah, well,
there's a culture problem.
Hey, Urban Meyer won national championships with more arrests than that. Okay.
Do you want a natty? Do you want a natty?
Hearing Kirby Smart's what was it, the interview before the TCU game, and he's just on a tirade of expletives and obscenities.
FIU just lost. I got the cover though. 17. FIU loses in overtime on a fumble. Let's go.
Liberty survives.
Man,
undefeated still. Jacksonville State's going to catch them the night before Thanksgiving. Mark it down. You heard it here first. Kirby Smart will never be mistaken for John Wooden. Let's be honest.
I think they're going to review this thing, but still, moving along. Northern Illinois, Bowling Green, NC. Nick, what you got to go ride your boys again?
One more time. One more time for my MAC schools. Let's go Bowling Green.
I'm getting in on this actually. I'm going to lock up Bowling Green too. Bowling Green -3 is the play. I just bet this like 5 minutes before the show. Let's go. Patty C, you join a triple lock?
This is a hard game because both of these teams have had impressive performances up until I guess recently. I'm on Bowling Green. I'm with you. I won't lock it because I should. But wait, Bowling Green barely beat Akron last week.
Yep. 20-20 game in the 4th.
No, I'm not going to lock that.
All right.
I'll take Bowling Green.
All right.
Yeah.
What is he down or is this definitely a fumble?
It's over.
All right. So the Flaming Libs live on at undefeated. Yeah, so that's a good game though in the MAC right there. Series goes back to 1967. Moving forward, the Louisville Cardinals are heading into Scott Stadium. Great Scott, Patty C.
This is an interesting game.
And I'm going to keep this lock train going.
Let's go. I'm with
I'm
you.
laying the 7 with Louisville.
You don't have to tell me. I know what side you're on. I'm going to follow you on that. Let's go. UVA 2-0 in ACC play? I don't think so. Come on, man. That's going to happen.
Double lock. Do we got a battle?
Yeah, we do. We do have a battle.
There we go.
Look, I will say keeping it within 7 against Notre Dame and SMU back-to-back weeks.
SMU, that was a horrible fumble. That was not a fumble. Go watch that replay.
SMU outplayed Louisville last week.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
Louisville was potentially going to be in scoring position.
It was a back and forth game.
That and then fumble though that SMU won on.
It slowed down the game late. You know, they exploded offensively in the top. I don't know why they couldn't keep it up. But
but look at this though. SMU scores a touchdown. Louisville answers with a touchdown. SMU scores a touchdown. Louisville answers with a touchdown. Right? SMU scores a touchdown. Louisville answers with a touchdown. SMU makes a field goal. Louisville scores a touchdown, takes the lead. But guess what? After that, SMU kicks a field goal again. Louisville scores a touchdown. Right? Then SMU gets the final touchdown on a fumble that was questionable. Man, that was anyone's game.
That was a great game.
Yeah,
it was a great game. And if that spread wasn't 7, I just think UVA should have beaten Maryland. UVA, if they didn't shit the bed and make bad decisions in the first half, I think that they were maybe the better team than Maryland. I think it was a pretty darn evenly matched game. UVA, I will say I could see Louisville going up big in this game because they're not a great first half team, but I still think UVA is just as talented or more talented than Louisville, and I think that that prevails at the end of the day.
I strongly disagree. Let's go. Whoa. We got a battle. Patty C riding the Wahoos. NC Nick Pick Dundee saying, "Give me the cards."
Malachi Fields is as prototypical of a possession receiver as there is in college football. I'm saying it, even though he's on UVA. And Anthony Calandri is a fun player. UVA has some weapons, and you have been reluctant to admit that for 2 years straight. UVA,
buddy, I have a text message from the middle of the game last week against Boston College of you saying UVA fucking blows ass.
Well, it's not
right?
UVA's talent. It's Tony Elliott's fucking decision making. I
don't know. I'm from the desert.
It's easy to see a tide turn. Well, it was. UVA was down 14-0 and then scored 24 points in a row, and Louisville scored none. Or not Louisville, Boston College. Yeah.
I don't know where the hell that clip is. Why can I not find it right now? You can't win. How about that though?
They did the same thing against Wake Forest, so that's why I think maybe Louisville with that potent offense does get up early, but I think UVA's got some fight, and they'll fight back and win.
Well, I'm asking the fans of SGPN to that show their fight and stand up for our people. All right. Hurricane Helene has been devastating to the good people there of Western North Carolina. If you haven't seen the videos, it's absolutely tragic what is happening over there. And you know what that means? That is our time to step up. All right. The people not affected by this, AKA every other American. This is our time to take care of our people. And SGPN's teaming up with a local charity, mountainprojects.org. This is not one of these ones where you're going to find out they're spending 80% of the money you donate at Peter Luger's in Brooklyn with the CEO sitting over there. No, this is one Weehawk hooked us up here, mountainprojects.org. We know that they're going to be helping people. Your dollar bill is safe here. The biggest donation will get a guest spot on the College Football Pick Show. There's a ton of SGPN gear we're going to hook you up with. Go to mountainprojects.org, hit flood support people, because it's going to take a long time for them to repair the damage that is done. And obviously we have another hurricane pending in Florida. This is we got to step up to the plate. So please, if you can, you'd want the same for you. If this is you that lost your job and your house and your belongings and maybe even your family members or your pets, you'd be completely devastated just like these people. So it's our time to step up and do that. Mountainprojects.org. Please, if you can, hit flood support, and let's make a difference in our brothers and sisters' lives. So let's go. All right, back on the college football experience. Talking all these games. Let's move along. NC Nick's boys, the Ohio Bobcats, are heading into Kelly Shorts Stadium. Worst name for a stadium in all of college football. The Chips are catching 3. I will take the Chips. I will take the Chips here. Give me the 3 points in the Chips. Think you played on the money line if you're going to bet it though, but I'm not betting it. Nick.
Wow, Connor Whitman coming at me. I guess he doesn't like Duke. Love you, Connor. I hope you enjoy your life. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think in MAC play, I like the home dogs here. Yep, I like the home dogs. I'm going to go Central Michigan here.
Patty C, what are you doing here?
A lot of aggression.
What did I do to them?
I just love how it follows. We got to do our part and help these people out. And it's just
Fuck you.
hey, fuck you. You're the worst piece of shit. I can't wait for your bullshit excuses. I hope you die in a forest fire.
I think if he met me in person, he would like me. I'm a nice guy.
That's why I love the chat. That's why you every chat should encourage shit talk. It makes the world so much better.
Yeah. It's so much more. It might not be fun for you in the moment. It's fun for everybody else.
No, it's fun. It's fun. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Both these teams 3-2. Both these teams 1-0 in MAC play. Central Michigan rounding back into contender form. Ohio potentially falling down a little bit. I'm gonna roll Chippewas here. I'm gonna take Central Michigan.
I'm with you. Connor says he waited for the ad break. He's a decent guy.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. He's a decent son of a gun. Who's your team? Are you a Carolina fan,
Oh,
Connor?
you know it. He loves Mac Brown. He's got
that 20-point lead. I was on Carolina. Those bastards. Moving along. We got a barn burner here. Arizona, BYU. Can Arizona complete the sweep of the Utah schools as they head into the Super Soaker, better known as Lavelle Edwards Stadium in Provo, Utah? This is a good game. And BYU is laying 4.5. I struggle with this because Arizona cost me last week. My guy, Noah Fafita, a huge fan of his game. They had that big win in Salt Lake City just 2 weeks ago. Can they do it again though? I don't know. I just kind of think Kalani Sitake and BYU's been a magical team this year. Jay Hill's got that defense playing at a high level. I'm going to take BYU minus the points. I think they're kind of a team of destiny here. Now maybe they win by just 3. That's why I'm not going to bet it, but I'm taking BYU minus 4.5. Give me a 31-24 final here. Patty C, what are you doing here at the Super Soaker?
BYU, more or less the same team every week. The most impressive performance they've had though is the Kansas State game. Holy crap! What a great win. Having hosting in Provo, coming off a bye, I feel like you have to take BYU here. Although Arizona, like you said, maybe Utah killers this year.
Nick,
I've just been waiting a couple of weeks now because BYU had their bye last week to fade the hell out of them. I'm like I said it earlier on who was it? I think it was on Pitt. Fade the fake 5-0 teams, especially the ones that are also 5-0 ATS. BYU now has been partying for 2 weeks. Just imagine all the Capri Suns they've been checking over there.
I was about to say
A bunch of Capri Suns, did you say?
All the Capri Suns they've been pounding. They might get diabetes here. Look, the one thing that I like here is that BYU hasn't been able to play a team that can pass the ball. Look at who they've played so far. Those teams have struggled mightily through the air, and Arizona can do that. And I think Arizona. I want to lock this up. We'll see if I do. I'm not going to do it. We'll check the picks page. I think it's the perfect spot for Arizona, even if BYU is really hard to in Provo. They're very good. I just think things have to come crashing down back to reality. BYU is good, yes. They've exceeded expectations so far, yes, but they're not. Undefeated ATS, undefeated straight up good. So I'm on Arizona.
I got a tuck job for you. We're gonna tuck this in real nice.
You have NC Nick's attention.
Look, Arizona, they have a common opponent, Arizona State. Arizona lost by 34. BYU beat Arizona or beat K-State rather. Not Arizona State, Kansas State. Right.
I was about to say, I was like, wait.
This is beer number 7 here, so sorry.
Oh God.
Kansas State, Arizona lost to Kansas State by 24. BYU beat Kansas State by 19. So
beer number 7 since we started recording.
Well, we did do 2 episodes today, so let's recall that.
One was for 4 minutes. How many beers did you?
I got
did
two
jam
beers
pack
down
in there?
in those 4 minutes. So.
Trans Patty making a statement known. I'm on BYU too. I don't think NC Nick's believe in how good this defense is. I know David Matola, who's a diehard Wildcat fan, is talking about how shitty the offense has been thus far.
Sorry, BYU beat Kansas State by 29, not 19. So
there we go.
Well, Colby, don't you agree that BYU's defense, while it is good, they haven't played a team that could pass the ball?
I true, but I just don't think Arizona is like they got the best of Utah, fair, and but I mean they only threw for $173 against Northern Arizona, so I just think Provo's and I think Jay Hill really is a good defensive coordinator. He was with Whittingham for a long time. Same with Sataki. I do think BYU's defense is part of that. Is just BYU can play good ball. Now, yes, some of it is the way the schedule breaks. That's fair. BYU is going to get this done, though. Let's go.
Well, I'm curious, real quick. I want to look at something. If you'll bear with me. Offensively, what has BYU been? What is their bread and butter? It looks like
Retzlaff running around.
Yeah, he's been playing good ball. Dude, I'm looking at the Big 12. It's because I'm
Chase Roberts. Those guys.
Retzlaff. Yeah, I mean that seems like it. Okay.
All right, let's move along. That's a great game.
Maybe play the over on that 49.5. Both those offenses can go. What BYU's done what in their offensive output so far? 41.
34 against Baylor.
Ironically, the SMU game was the rock fight.
Yeah.
But other than that, 34, 38, 34. So I think the over might be a good play there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Next up, Hail State heading into Athens. How many Georgia players will be arrested before the game starts? We got the series goes back to 1914. Georgia's laying 34.5. This is ridiculous. No Blake Shapen. I will lay it with Georgia, but I don't know. I mean, what are we doing here? This game's horrible.
They do have Texas next week.
That's true. Maybe they keep it a little. I don't know. I'm still laying it. Mississippi State doesn't have their starting. They're ass, dude. Give me the dogs. Nick,
I'm gonna go Mississippi State. I guess Georgia wins like 34-3.
I mean, Georgia versus Texas. Let's do a little. Let's do a duck job here. Mississippi State versus Texas. Rather, a 22-point win on the road for Texas. 17-point win for Florida against Mississippi State. I don't know. It's really hard to tell what'll happen in this game, but I'm with Nick. I'm gonna go Mississippi State to cover because they just haven't been super impressed with Georgia. I think there might be a little bit of a counterfeit product. Losing to Alabama, looking worse after they took an L to Vanderbilt. Keeping it close against Vandy, I guess is or Kentucky rather for Georgia. You know, Kentucky's looked okay, but and then only an 18-point win against Auburn. No, I think Mississippi State covers 34.5 points.
Trans Patty's got his play. his tranny pick of the week. Tranny pick of the week here is Mississippi State plus the points.
Hey Noah, can you work on a graphic?
Yeah.
I actually have pictures of me doing a tuck job, so you don't have to really work on that.
No.
Please,
I don't
please.
think our audience needs that.
Not quite what I was talking about.
Folks, on that note, I want to tell you we're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy, no tuck job needed here. Look, Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports: NFL, college football, CFL, MLB, MMA, WNBA, NASCAR, and much, much more. Their lobby is jam-packed with profit boost. I know we talked about we like Tyler Huff. It is rushing over, what was it, 88 yards, was it, or 81 yards? I don't remember. We like the higher on that. We also like him to get a touchdown, the starting quarterback for Jacksonville State tomorrow night. So jump on over there, sign up. And when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back and let's jump over here. Chat's making me laugh. Southern Miss taking on ULM. You guys gave me shit about Southern Miss last week. They covered for me too.
Did they?
All right, they did. They covered like the.
Will Hall's a dead man walking.
Yeah, but he's covering. He's covering. All right. They're catching 7. In is this in Monroe or is this in Hattiesburg? This is in Monroe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Southern Miss again plus 7. No lock.
How?
Because ULM just beat JMU and they're smelling their own shit. Going around, they're reminiscing about Stan Humphries. Right?
ULM's last 2 wins were a combined 6 points. I mean, and in both games they haven't scored over 21. So
Southern Miss beat them by 17 last year.
I think ULM wins by like a field goal or so. I think a touchdown's too much. I agree.
Patty,
I will say that Southern Miss's performance against Louisiana, who seems
which
to be,
I locked. Thank you. You're welcome. You guys talk shit about me.
seems to be back on track. The Cajuns. Would you say their Desmond Rose got that thing going now?
Nah, I kind of think that the Sun Belt just sucks.
Okay.
So I think he's benefiting, but obviously you're not gonna be able to fire him. He's a former player there, coach there, so
Yeah. You might be right. I mean, I don't have a lock for this game, but I would just say Southern Miss hasn't looked very good at all this year. Only win against Southeastern Louisiana.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Louisiana Monroe just beat, maybe the best Group of 5 team in the nation, potentially James Madison. So at home, give me ULM to cover 7. Get the fuck out of here. In fact, lock it up.
DC
Get the fuck out of here.
talks himself into a lock. He said, maybe you're gonna be right. You know what? No, I'm betting this. All right.
The more information that I presented to myself, the more clear this pick became.
Let's go. Patty C, lock it up. ULM at home. Woo. Continuing on this journey.
Dude, if they start off 3-0 in Sun Belt play, that's a shocker.
That's a development.
I got a lock for you here.
ULM's never had a good season ever, right?
Since they won the FCS national championship with Stan Humphries in the 80s.
Okay.
So, Arkansas State, I got a lock. Arkansas State's heading into San Marcos. Do you remember what they did last year?
Oh, 77-31.
And you remember how they got this 77-31? That was
Bunch of pick sixes or
it was a fluky. Texas State's got this one circled. I am laying, and Vegas knows it with this damn number. I'm laying the 14.5. I think you're going to put it on Arkansas State. Lock it up.
There it is.
Nick, you coming with?
I see the revenge angle, but I also see that one team won by 46 points like 5 or 6 games ago, and now they're getting 14.5. I'm not betting this. I'm not. I'm going to go Arkansas State in the points, I think.
Especially when both of the coaches are back.
That was a fluky game. The yardage was like dead even.
Yeah, I would say Butch Jones hanging 77 on anyone has to be considered a fluke. However, maybe there is something that Jordan McLeod, #1 passing efficiency ranking in the Sun Belt again. So I think you're right. I think Texas State probably covers, but I'm not touching this one.
It's okay. I'll fly solo. All right, moving along. We go to North Texas, heading to Del Boca Vista. Cam Fancher going to be starting. I'm sure you see some bullshit slides here. Eric Morris agency in North Texas. They're off to a hot start, even though I think they're a phony team. This series goes back to 2004. North Texas laying 7. No. I'll take FAU plus the 7. I think if you're going to play this, you just play it on the money line. Nick, what are you doing here?
I agree. I mean, who is North Texas to lay a touchdown in this? I mean, are they actually good? Does anybody watch North Texas games?
Are these results real?
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, they whooped Tulsa. They whooped Wyoming. I don't know if they're any good or not. Give me the home dog. Give me the points.
Patty C, North Texas has been your arch nemesis. All right, what are you doing here?
Well, Cam Fancher not exactly killing it this year, so I guess it's time for me to eat shit again and bet on North Texas. Last time I did that, they were down by 46 at halftime. So let's do it again. Let's go North Texas.
I mean, I hear you because I was saying earlier in the year, fade Fancher. I don't know. I think at home here, I think it's a close game.
Yeah,
10th in the conference in passing efficiency. Fancher not playing great football.
2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions through 5 games or something.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm still taking FAU. I feel actually all right about it. I feel like you play it on the money line too.
Del Boca Vista.
Yeah.
What's the place that's in every single Arnold movie?
Oh, Valverde. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Shout out to Stephen DeSouza, the writer there. I took his classes at UCLA.
That's right.
When
are we going to get your screenwriting career going again?
I've got the scripts. I'm just waiting on one of these listeners to be having a lot of money because I've got some fire scripts.
By the way,
How
Colby
about,
has
Pissing Pavia, the biography.
Yeah,
I could write that in a weekend. I could write that in a weekend. All right. I mean, I got some screenplays. All right. You think I'm fucking around? I got some screenplays.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. Anyway, One of those screenplays might be Florida Atlantic on the money line. Moving along, Albuquerque. Bronco Mendenhall in New Mexico laying 6 against Troy Calhoun. I bet this earlier in the week minus the points, but man, getting up to 6 or 7. I'm still laying it with the Lobos, but no wager at 6.
To have that be the spread, if you were to think that was the spread a year ago, you would be out of your mind.
2 months ago.
Yeah. Unbelievable. What has happened there?
My guy Rick Baum knew what he was talking about. Both teams are 1-4, but and Air Force did win 35-3 a season ago, but Mendenhall was not there. Jason Beck and this offense can cruise a little bit.
Mendenhall is the exact type of coach that would know how to handle this triple option offense. So I will take New Mexico.
Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I think Air Force is almost on auto fade. They lost to Wyoming by 12. So give me New Mexico.
All right, moving along. Washington State heads to Bulldog Stadium to take on Fresno State. Wazoo's laying 3. I think it's a get right spot. I said this before. Wazoo and Boise, they just need to go 1-1 in that stretch. Now, obviously, Boise ran it up a little late. They didn't need that, but I think Wazoo gets this done. I'm going to lay the 3 at Bulldog Stadium. Nick.
Yep, there's some similarities here. Both teams are off a bye. Both teams got whipped on a road the last time they played a game. The difference is Wazoo has played a very tough schedule so far. Fresno has not. I think Wazoo's the better team. I think they get it done on the road.
Patty?
I think Fresno, you have to be well, what was their most recent result? Didn't they get 59 hung on them?
UNLV kicked their ass.
UNLV, yeah. I'm gonna take Wazoo. I'll actually lock up Wazoo.
Woo, there we go. John Mateer for Heisman for Piss and Pavia Award.
Yeah, I mean Wazoo's only lost to Fresno, who looks like a playoff team. I actually think Fresno will probably be in the second round of the playoffs. No matter who they play, if they're the 12 seed, I think they beat the 5 seed. I think Fresno's that good. They had a 3-point loss that they should have beaten Oregon on.
Boise, you mean?
Yeah, Boise.
You're saying Fresno.
Well, what I'm saying is, no, Boise. What I'm saying, Washington State, their only loss was to that team. So,
gotcha.
Wazoo has the fact that they beat Washington, right? Michigan lost to Washington State's a damn good
Texas
team.
Tech, who's first place in the Big 12.
Yeah, Washington State's a good team. Fresno looks bad.
Let's go, Patty C. Locking up the Cougs. We got a big one down here in Rocky Top as Tennessee is laying 15.5 points against these Gators.
This is a tough one.
I'm locking up the Gators. I don't think this Tennessee offense is that great. So I will.
I'm very tempted to join you.
I'm just going to say Florida's going to be able to stay within this number. Florida beat us a season ago. I just think they can stay within this number. Florida looked all right on Saturday. Nick?
Yeah, that was my initial reaction as well. I want to see what the betting splits are really quick. I mean, do you think everybody's on Florida here, given the fact that it's over 14? The line tells you it makes you want to pick Florida, right?
Yeah.
Let me take a look.
And I'm with Rob. I think like that plus 500 on the money line is worth the sprinkle.
I'm not sure on that.
So spread wise, 64% of the bets are coming in on Tennessee. Ooh.
I will say historically, Florida owns Tennessee. Like Tennessee's only beaten the Gators like twice in the last 20 years.
All right, Florida, let's go.
Lock?
Are you locking it?
Well,
I'm locking it.
Let's talk about Tennessee real quick. Let's talk about Tennessee. Destroyed Chattanooga, destroyed NC State, destroyed Kent State.
I told you this. They have not played
god awful.
They have
teams.
not played an offense better than in the top 115 until Arkansas, and they lose.
Yeah. They barely squeaked by Oklahoma 10 points. I guess it's not barely squeaking by, but not a comfortable win. They didn't cover. Florida is starting to look a little better.
Let's lock it. Florida.
Triple
go
lock.
Gators.
Yeah.
Go Gators.
Go Gator.
Does Billy Napier save his job?
Potentially, you win a game like this. All right. Welcome to the party, pal. We have a triple lock with the Gators. Let's go. Let's go.
Don't you think though that Rocky Top might be a hard place for them to play?
Of course, it's a hard place to play. It's a great stadium.
They played them close
fans.
a couple years ago though when Florida was trash also. And that game was closer than it should have been.
Yeah, I think they're going to give them a game. It's a rivalry.
Tennessee has to prove that they're
it's
not
like Oklahoma.
a gimmick.
It's similar to an Oklahoma-Texas spread where you're just like, no, I'll take the team with the points.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Moving along, UTSA is heading to the Rice Bowl to take on the Rice Owls. UTSA is laying 6.5. I will lay it, even though I think talk about one of the more disappointing teams in college football this year. UTSA. I will lay the 6.5 though. Nick.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while now, Rice ain't right. I will take UTSA. Tempted to lock it, but I don't know how good UTSA is either. So I'll probably just hold off.
Patty?
On the road, I don't know. It feels like Rice should be able to. I mean, UTSA should be able to cover that based on previous years, but I'll take Rice.
All right, folks. I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by BetUS. Bet with the best of the business. BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. You can easily deposit using cryptocurrency, get lightning fast payouts. Sign up and deposit $100. You get a chance to win a 1960 Ford Mustang. What are we doing? Jump on over there. Get that going. Use our link to sign up and get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. Unbelievable. I touched on this. We like Jacksonville State. I like Coastal Carolina on Thursday. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. SGPN's proud partner. Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get prediction for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, props. All right. You can sit back, copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or you could build your own like I do, and then it'll adjust around that. Rhythm gives you predictions for every game and player prop and has a slew of stats, research, trend analysis to give you even more betting insight. Like we said, we like Jacksonville State and Rich Rod tomorrow against a terrible rush defense in New Mexico State. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back, and
this is one of the most anticipated games of the season.
Yes, Ohio State heads to Autzen Stadium. Series goes back to 1958. Dylan Gabriel, been in college since 1958.
Best passing completion percentage in the nation. Dylan
Gabriel. What's crazy is I think he looks like shit this year.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable to me. Like that, I honestly thought like I have a future for Oregon to win the national championship, but I was just like, they don't look the part to me. And when I think about Chip Kelly going up there to his old stomping grounds, and when I think about just Ohio State playing nobody, with the exception of Iowa last week, I think Ohio State is going to go up there and win. So I will lay the 3 points, and I will lock up Ohio State. I don't think Oregon looks that good. They definitely should have lost to Boise. Idaho was in that game, just not buying in. They don't look the part this year. There's not that gear. So give me the Buckeyes to get it done. Nick,
I agree. In the preseason or over the summer, I had Oregon winning this game. But I think we have to switch. I think Ohio State has the better line play. I think they have the better run game and the better defense. 3 things that do travel into a very hostile environment. And you're right. Oregon just has not looked the part. They don't look like the same team as last year. But I have the Buckeyes winning the national championship. So I think they win this game too. So yeah, I'm with you. I'll lock it up.
Double lock. Will it be a triple lock?
It will be a triple lock because for all the reasons basically you guys have just pointed out.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty good.
I will say that Oregon's looked better for the past couple weeks. Michigan State and UCLA back-to-back weeks. Even Oregon State.
They didn't cover those games. They didn't cover.
They've been in control of those games.
Sure.
But Ohio State's a different beast. But Ohio State's played nobody, so it's tough to say what we're going to get out of Ohio.
Let me key in on another point here. I see Jack saying, nope, the 2 time zone rule. That I would normally be on board with that, but no. My logic is also this. This is a revenge game. This was on the schedule pre them joining the Big 12 or the Big 10. I'm sorry. This game was the return game from when Oregon went into the horseshoe and won.
Beat them.
Yes,
well,
I
believe Kayvon Thibodeau had a
Ryan
big game.
Day would have one.
Yeah.
Have this game circled.
So I think he's had this one circled. I think it's a revenge game. I think the Buckeyes get it done. Triple lock. Let's go.
And with that said, count on Oregon or Ohio State versus Penn State in 4 weeks being a number 1 versus number 2 match.
USC is going to beat them. But next, let's keep this lock train going. Ole Miss stormed the field against LSU last year in Vaught Hemingway. Now they go to Baton Rouge. I think Brian Kelly's also had this one circled. I like a revenge parlay of Ohio State and LSU. I am locking up.
Is this
Tigers.
another game that's being played at the same time?
I think so.
Yeah,
Terrible, man.
Yeah. And they should have spread this out. But I'm on LSU. I think I'm getting 3 points. Play the money line. Wait, Tigers on this podcast. Brian Kelly and his family are going to get a big win tomorrow or on Saturday. Nick, what are you doing here?
Yes, agreed. LSU under Brian Kelly is 12-0 in night home games. And this is the second half of a back-to-back away for Ole Miss. The revenge from last year. All things are pointing to LSU winning this game. So I'm with you. Let's lock it up.
Double lock on LSU. Weak Tigers. Patty C, could this be another triple lock?
Sure, let's go. Look, this is an anecdotal point here, but it reminds me of Rich Rodriguez at Arizona having the spread option against Chip Kelly at Oregon. And Oregon was a far better program, but Brian Kelly is a finesse coach, and they see this stuff in practice every day that Ole Miss runs, and they're not going to be tricked by it. I expect Ole Miss's offense to bog down and LSU to get this win at home outright.
I am with you too outright. Triple lock. LSU gets it done. All right.
Big game.
Hold on,
Kelly
Lane Kiffin hasn't
apply.
dropped two straight games. They came back against South Carolina last week.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Somebody in the chat. Sorry.
Oh.
Still, pussy ball is what both of them play, and LSU's just got more dogs. So
let's jump on over. Oregon State heading to Reno in a series that goes back to 1903. Oregon State's laying 4. Beavs, shout out to the Beavs. 5. What are they? 4 or 5-1. Heading to the Pack attack. I do think it's gonna be a sneaky game for them though. Give me the Pack +4. Nick, what are you doing here?
No, give me Oregon State. Yeah, I just think they're the better team. I've been impressed with them so far. They're just finding ways to win. So give me the Beavs.
Patty?
yeah, I've been a little more impressed with Oregon State this year. Nevada has been way more impressive than I thought they would be, but still, Oregon State's been playing good football all year.
All right, moving along. App State is heading into Cajun Field there in Lafayette, Louisiana, to take on the Raging Cajuns. I got a lock. Give me App State plus the points.
How?
It's
10.5.
I guess
is a big number.
Situation, buddy.
We just said the situation last week with.
I didn't lock that up because I thought the practice and there was too fresh from it. This is where they get up. They give Louisiana a game. They cover 10.5. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Nick?
I don't know, man. It's tough to bet on App State. I'm not sure if they have any fight this year. The defense is awful. The offensive line is struggling. Aguilar is committing too many turnovers. I'll ride with you and take App State, but I'm not going to bet them. They have to show me something before I put money on them.
Patty?
Yeah, I'm sorry. The sentimental pick ends here. Louisiana rather has been playing good football. App State's been getting points hung on them left and right week to week. I think Louisiana finds a way to cover 10.5.
Oh boy. Lexington, Kentucky, in a game that goes back to 1896.
What's the all-time series on this one?
I don't have it in front of me, but I can tell you this.
Pulled up. These are two traditionally shit programs of the SEC.
It's, it's just, you can hear it in the air. If you listen really patiently and quiet, you can hear the piss hitting Kroger Field.
You can hear the splatter.
Yeah, you can hear the splatter of that piss.
49-43 in Kentucky's favor, Patty C.
49-40?
49-43.
If you listen closely, you might have heard the Gatorade dumped last week too.
Boom. 49-43. This should be a rivalry.
Yeah, and this line is ridiculous.
I was looking to fade Vandy. Yeah. I was looking to fade him, but then I saw 2 touchdowns against Kentucky. 2 touchdowns.
Vanderbilt is not a gimmick. They beat Virginia Tech. They should have beat Missouri. They beat Alabama. This is a fucking lock. And sprinkle the money line. Diego Pavia is going to huff and puff and piss down your fucking face. All right. Rick Pitino's going to be at this game too. Watch out, Rick. You might get some piss on your face. I'm sure it's not the first time.
At this point, I almost feel like we should start taking Colby's lead on this shit.
They're not a gimmick. They're not a gimmick. This offense and the fact he's yet to throw a fucking interception. So they're not killing themselves.
The one thing to refocus the team is disrespect, and this line is disrespectful. And I think if you're Clark Lee and company, you show them this line yet today, tomorrow, and you say they still don't believe us. They still think we're gimmicky. That's enough for me to buy in. Let's go, Vandy. I was looking to lock up the other Kentucky if this was like a 5 or 6 or a 7 point spread. The fact that it's 14, I think it's way too much. I'm with you, Colby. Lock up Vandy.
And to me, like the coaching edge, Stoops is good, but I
really think Clark Lee's I think
Jerry Kill and Beck are going to be able to draw up some
you
shit.
have to attribute Vanderbilt's success to the assistants that have come on staff. You got to give Clark Lee a little bit of credit,
Well, you ready for the real angle too? This is a known thing. If you know Mark Stoops, if you follow the Kentucky program, he's made it when he came into that program, which was a while ago. He's made the Kentucky game, the game they have to win the Florida game, the game they have to win each year. He's made it their number 1 game of the year. Florida's on deck, folks. Vanderbilt's going in there. Vanderbilt's going to win this fucking game outright. Take the points to back your ass up, and because Vanderbilt's kicker has been iffy all year. Maybe they lose a close game, but they're going to make this thing competitive. Kentucky is not. They shouldn't be 14-point favorites over anybody in the fucking SEC.
I agreed. Kentucky is the Iowa of the SEC, number 115 in total offense, number 5 in total defense. That reeks of a close game, no matter what. Especially a team that has proven themselves to be as quality as Vanderbilt has so far. 14 is an outrageous number. I'll lock it with you.
Do you need any more?
I still wonder if your money line plays a week late.
Potentially. Or a week early, because what do they got? When's Texas coming to Nashville? I think it's 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now.
Does Vanderbilt have an SEC loss yet?
Vandy's got Ball State in between.
Missouri in overtime.
Missouri in overtime. Vanderbilt's still alive for the SEC championship.
Of course they are. Of course, when they have the best quarterback in the nation. All right, and
pisser for Heisman.
And let's not forget that also Vanderbilt won the last time they went into Commonwealth Stadium. So hey, let's go. The piss will be flowing. All right. All right. Continue on. Syracuse. Coming into the season, I was on, one of my plays on the over on Syracuse's win total was the fact that I thought this was an automatic loss in Raleigh. Well, guess what? Syracuse is a 4.5 point favorite. They're alive to win this thing, and I will take the Q's minus 4.5 because NC State sucks ass. Yeah. I will lay the 4.5. No lock though. Nick, what are you doing here?
I know Colby enjoys saying that NC State sucks ass. There was some some hidden gratification when he said that there. I don't see how you take NC State right now. I'm right there with you. I'm not going to bet it though.
I'll lock it. I'll lock Syracuse, dude. Come on.
Back to back away for Syracuse.
True, and long trips, but that was an amazing win that they got against UNLV. They fought their ass off, and NC State continues to be ass. So
I will say though, there's been times where Doran's teams have looked really bad the first half of the year, and he pulls some shit out of his ass the second half of the year to win ugly games. So it's possible at home they could win an ugly game here. I'm just saying.
We are officially in the second half of the season, so maybe Doran gets it going, but still Syracuse has looked like so much better of a team to this point. Would you agree?
Yes. They're asking, the chat's asking, CJ Bailey, I believe, is the guy, him and Lex Thomas, the quarterbacks without Big Bird there, who got blasted.
CJ Bailey is hilarious. He's a true freshman. He's 6'6", 185. So like I consider myself a thin dude, but he's taller than me and thinner than me. I don't know how he holds up, but he's actually looked pretty decent. I mean, for down the road, not for this year.
Yeah. Patty C, you locking this?
I am locking it. Give me Q's.
Patty C's on the Q's. Battling Rob Donaldson, who's on the pussy pack. Let's move along. Marshall. Suddenly, this is like a huge game in the Sun Belt East. Marshall heads into Statesboro to take on Georgia Southern. Shout out to our guy Clay, who does the first downs. Marshall's lay at 1.5. Man, I struggled with this. I really struggled with this one. Give me Southern, I guess. I feel like Marshall was probably the better team, but in Statesboro, I don't know. Actually, no. Give me Marshall, because Helton. This is right around the time where Helton's teams begin to suck ass. So give me Marshall, I guess.
It's a good
Nick,
point.
what are you doing here?
I just think Marshall's due for a letdown game too, because I worry about their consistency, especially on the road. I was on Georgia Southern against Georgia State last week. I think at home here, a little yapper. Let me go Georgia Southern.
Patty?
Yeah, this is a tough game. I'm surprised Georgia Southern's passing offense is not what it was, in previous years. They were throwing the ball all over the field before. I'm going to go Marshall here to cover this. I don't trust Georgia Southern's offense without those passing numbers being. I think they're 65th in passing offense right now.
Next we go to Morgantown with the big time. This is a huge game. Both teams undefeated in the Big 12.
Blackout cold uniforms.
Oh yeah. Iowa State's laying 3 on the road. No. I will lock up West Virginia +3 at home. Let's go. Good old Morgantown, WV. This is just look. If you win this game, Matt Campbell, I will not pick against you the rest of the year. Because I've been fading you every week and I've been eating a big old shit sandwich. This is the spot, though. West Virginia's going to get this done. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
This is a year where home field advantage hasn't meant as much. I'm going to go Iowa State. Look, I mean, West Virginia, they ran all over Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, talk about disappointments. Geez, those guys, that defense is awful. Other than that, West Virginia beat a really struggling Kansas team. They needed to come back in order to beat Kansas. I think people are claiming that West Virginia is a good team a little too early just because of 2 wins over, I don't know, average to mid or to bad teams. Iowa State's proving it. They've proven it week in, week out. Let me go Cyclones.
Patty?
I think I'm with Nick. Recent history, Iowa State 4 out of the last 5. Including 1 out of 2 in Morgantown, but they have dominated 30-14, 38-14, 42-6, and 31-14 were their wins. Their only loss was by 7 points. That was their most recent trip to Morgantown in 2021. So I think Iowa State's playing great football. I don't know this game though.
Nice tuck job.
If you're looking at these 2 teams like equally though, West Virginia keeps finding a way to win, and Iowa State doesn't generate tons of offense. So I don't know. This is a tough game. I wouldn't bet.
This place is going to burn down because they're 2-0. They know that they get this. You got the inside track. I think this is why you play it. And look, I understand.
You might be right.
I'm playing this thing on the money line too. Let's go.
Oh, I see why you would be on West Virginia. I mean, I'm not betting Iowa State. I just want to see West Virginia beat a good team. Is that fair?
Sure.
Iowa State's played very tough
Kansas
football.
is 1-5, but they have all 5 losses by like 14 points total.
Kansas is not a good football team this year.
They're not horrible though. Like they've been in every game. They could easily be 5-1.
The mojo is on West Virginia's side, so I will take West Virginia to cover and probably money line this thing. So
I'm locking it with me.
I'm flipping. No, I'm not locking.
Mine's a lock. Lock it up with old Dundee here. Let's go.
We like it better. Tucked in, tucked out.
Depends on my mood.
We have the Minnesota Golden Gophers are heading to the Rose Bowl. PJ Fleck made Minnesota players drink. What do we do? I'm trying to see here. What do we got? What is capsule?
An antidote of confidence capsule.
Wait. After Michigan?
Yeah,
It's
after
a
the Michigan
colossal
loss.
douchebag.
Please explain how you make them do this.
Well, you're the head coach and you're an adult coaching 20-year-olds, and
you're an egomaniac
for sure. And you got a bunch of cheesy ass things like row the boat and capsules of confidence or whatever.
Please, do we have footage of this though? How do we?
I don't have footage, but this is
to be fair,
he said it on the radio. He said it on Minnesota local radio.
To be fair, he's very similar to Bronco Mendenhall, who you love, in terms of these little cheesy like gimmicks.
Well, I don't know. I don't hate PJ Fleck, but I'm just curious right there. I hadn't seen that story, so that's why I was just like, what the hell is happening here? They're heading to Pasadena. They're laying 5.5.
At first glance, you just have to take Minnesota here, right?
I'm gonna go UCLA.
Really?
I think Minnesota. I like Minnesota in a dog spot. I don't like them laying. I mean, it's only 5.5. Could they cover this? Sure. I don't love UCLA here, but I think it's a close game. I think it's a field goal game here.
I'll take the Bruins too. It smells. It smells.
It does smell, but I dive into the stink, and I think UCLA, despite having played certain teams closer than expected this year, haven't been able to get it done. And Minnesota did come up with a huge win last week, so I think maybe there's a letdown spot for Minnesota, but I still think I got to take Minnesota here.
All right, moving. I'm so glad this game is back. Let's go. The series goes back to 1912, the nightcap.
This is the other game of the week.
Yeah, this is a great game. Kansas State heading into Folsom Field to take on the Buffs. Kansas State's laying 4. The over/under at 56.5. Look, this line, by the way, if you shop around, you might be able to get yourself a 5 out there right now. It was 6 when it opened, or actually, I think it opened at 4 and then went up to 6, then back to 4, and then it's been jumping around. So check around. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this one.
Wow.
Lost in this season is Robert Livingston doing a great job at the defensive coordinating position for Colorado. My big thing is this: Avery Johnson has looked like shit on the road. Go back to the Tulane game. They should have lost that game. That was not a pick play, and he did not play very good. You go back to the second game he hit at the road. That was Provo, right?
That's a good point.
He sucked on the road, right? So now you're getting your third road game, and it's going to be lit. And Colorado's coming off a bye. I know K-State had a bye too, but I just think Colorado, more than a field goal you're getting. And I also think Colorado can exploit the secondary problems that Kansas State's had this year. So I think it's a bad matchup for Kansas State. Now, sure, the other side of that coin is K-State's a very good run team, but I think Colorado's rushing defense is actually vastly improved. If anything, I worry about Colorado's offensive line protection, but I've been worrying about that forever. I just think this is a close game, and to me, I actually think Colorado should be favored because of Avery Johnson on the road. Better quarterback at home with a run defense that is vastly improved. Make Avery Johnson beat you. I love Colorado in this spot. Let's go Buffs. Patty?
I have to disagree with you. Look, Colorado, I will say the home spot here is huge because it's prime time. It's going to be lit. I bet they are able to keep it close because of that. I think Kansas State is a much better team than
this
Colorado.
year. I think Kansas State's looked like shit this year.
They haven't looked great, but what are they sitting at? 4-1.
Well, those two wins that around the BYU loss. I mean, the win over Arizona at home, the win over Oklahoma State at home. Those were at the time 2 top 25 wins. But
even the Tulane win is impressive.
That Tulane win is bullshit.
It was
dude.
bullshit.
They call it
Tulane's
play.
a really good team.
I understand that, but he didn't look good. The offense didn't look good. That was more so the quarterback.
That was a dog
strip sack return for 80 yards.
It was on the road.
Yes,
they got it done.
But that was not a lethal environment.
No, Kansas State is not a fucking national championship team here.
In my opinion, K-State, who I came in somewhat bullish on, has not looked
disappointed a little bit.
I'm disappointed by their performance this year.
Colorado. Yeah. What are you gonna say? About Colorado?
You have to be disappointed with Colorado, with Kansas State so far, and you have to be impressed with Colorado so far. But I think I'm going to go back to my initial preseason beliefs that K-State wins this game because they are a more complete team. I don't feel anywhere nearly as confident as I do now than I did back in July or August. But I am going to go Kansas State here. I don't feel great about it though.
I'm going to say Kansas State too.
Laying the 4 though.
I'm laying the 4. Yeah. But I don't think it's by much. I wouldn't touch this.
I was about to say. I was like, I think Colorado should be the favorite team here. But then I also think, to me, you're getting more than a field goal, especially if you can get that 6 that was floating around a couple days ago.
Look, Colorado's won 3 in a row. Okay, congratulations. The win at UCF. Maybe not looking so good because UCF is the last home game was that Baylor game they had to pull out of their ass. It's not like Baylor's all that good. I mean, K-State's definitely better than Baylor if we're going to do trans-patty comparisons over here. So while Colorado's record looks pretty good.
You mean analyzing football? Yeah.
Okay. But I will say this. Baylor was starting, a super experienced quarterback. That's what I'm saying. Like this guy on the road is a big question mark. And I will say, you go back to that Baylor game, and I understand Colorado got lucky, even though they could have completed the Hail Mary the play before and dropped it. But still, like just the fact they were in that spot. They were in that spot because their special teams woes. They outgained Baylor by a large amount that game.
Colorado has been way more impressive than anticipated this year.
Now, Avery Johnson, a young quarterback, now does have a couple hostile road environments under his belt. Does he improve as he continues to play on the road? You would expect his first or second to be pretty rocky, and they were. Maybe he plays a little bit better this week. That's what I'm banking on.
Yeah,
potentially.
I'll be honest. Like I think they're going to lose both games. I think they're going to lose next week to Dub V too. Like I just can't trust.
Where is that game being played?
In Morgantown.
Oh yeah, that's probably a loss.
So I just think that to me, he's been the biggest letdown in the Big 12 this year. Like as a player, Avery Johnson does not look very good to me. He does not look very polished as a.
Still,
no, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good
as a team. Has looked really good at times
this year.
Yeah,
no, I disagree. Like the Arizona game would be the best, but even with that,
or Oklahoma
State's ass.
Oklahoma State's trash though.
Oklahoma State's defense is completely abysmal. I mean, they're awful. They don't want to tackle anybody. So
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
it could be a close.
I'm a K-State fan outside of Colorado, and I'm just saying like this year I was just like they don't look the part.
Listening to you talk Colorado, I haven't heard you fade them once. You're always bullish on Colorado. This
what are
year.
you talking about? I took Colorado State.
Well, the one time you were completely wrong was the time
I was completely wrong.
That's like me on a bunch of teams. JMU, Cincinnati.
I took Colorado State in that game, and I lost. Right?
Let me say this. Look, I expect a really good game. I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado balled out and got a win. I thought that Colorado was going to do pretty well in Big 12 play. If they continue to win, if they get this win, would you say this is maybe the biggest game of their entire season? Colorado?
The Utah game. This or Utah? It depends. It depends because if Texas Tech continues to roll.
Yeah, there's a lot of 50-50 games. If Colorado can find a way to win these, they might be getting a bye in the playoffs.
And if Cam Rising never comes back, then Utah is going to drop another one or two.
That's true.
If Cam Rising has to come to Colorado, especially the week following the BYU game, they're fucked either way. Colorado's going to win that game. Look, Colorado's having a great year. I still think Kansas State will get it done. I will say this though. Travis Hunter didn't play last week, but you know who did?
Your boy.
That's right. I'm trying to play
Surratt.
Yeah, Elijah Surratt, 7 catches, 135 yards.
All right, we got one more game to go. We're not going to start that
Lakeside.
A better receiver than Travis Hunter.
No, he is not. That is a horrible statement.
We'll just watch the stat sheet for the rest of the year. Let's
last game of the week.
It's like saying Dwight Stone's better than John Stallworth.
Well, what we got is Boise on the road at Hawai'i, right? Travis
Hunter plays this week. Elijah Surratt does not. So Travis Hunter, you better put up numbers.
We've been looking at the numbers all season, buddy. Relax.
Hey, look at the 2 previous years, and Elijah Surratt has toasted.
Indiana's played nobody.
Well, what about
guys? I'm going to drop off from the podcast. If we don't
all right, go ahead.
Now. We got one
give
more
your final
game
pick.
To go.
Yeah,
we can
Boise
hang up.
State.
We can end the podcast. You guys can argue in the studio by yourselves.
We can't end the podcast.
People want to listen to us argue about
I
Elijah
have people skills.
Surratt.
Damn you people. Look, Boise State's heading to the island.
Really? That line's not right.
It's not right.
Oh yeah, it's 20.5. My bad.
I'm gonna smash Boise State minus 6.5.
Ashton Jeanty will not play the second half again, and Boise minus 20.5 hits. I can't take Hawai'i, guys.
Yeah,
I can't do it. It's
gotta
just
go
a bad
Boise right now.
Bad matchup here. Sorry about the fuck up.
They're trying to get style points right now too, Boise.
Can't wait for this Saturday. Remember, we got the SGP College Football Show coming next. Also, we have the FCS College Football Experience Pick Show every Friday. The Bombs Down Under this Thursday. CJ was in North Carolina, had no internet, of course, last week. We got the Bracketology with Moneyline Mac also. And check out the College Basketball Experience. Episodes are flying off the shelves over there. Season's less than 30 days away from tipping. And don't forget the College Baseball Experience, always killing it too. Check out all of those. CFL gambling podcast, as well as the road to the 111th Grey Cup continues on. Give Patty C a follow on Twitter at Patty C831, NC Nix on Twitter at NC__NICK. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. It's Eric asked if we can get our 2 favorite plays. Shout out to it's Eric. I mean, 2 favorite plays. I mean, I felt good about that parlay of Ohio State and LSU, but hold on, let me see if I could do.
While you're thinking, in honor of our producer living in Big Ten country, I will give out Iowa and Rutgers, my 2 favorite plays.
Yeah, I'm going to give out Iowa and Penn State.
Yeah, I do love that Iowa one too. I'm actually going to go with Iowa and Vanderbilt. Let's go. All right,
Iowa and Florida.
Let's go.
Boom.
We just killed it right there. Get on over there, folks. Till next time, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.